What's up, guys? So, barley water, no, regular actual water, and I'm not man enough to drink alcohol from this. My dog is playing with Izzy. Can we not? Can we not with the toy right now? Please. Whew. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. Love that you guys have been enjoying these so much, that we're still getting good responses from these. It's a little earlier than we've been doing. Typically, we've been, I think 8 o'clock's been most of our time, I want to say, but let's see here. We got 7 people in here, 17 likes. This is one of the few times we have more likes than people in here. So today, guys, we're going to talk about, let me phrase this. When you guys aren't asking questions, we're going to talk about 6.0 problems, and 6.7 problems is going to be our topic in the background. I really need to get a desk for this here. It's happening soon. Lots of stuff going on. So, guys, first and foremost, if you haven't hit up the merch store, you guys can't see that. There we go. There's the logo. 6.0 Bros. Teespring is the one that's got the new stuff. And yes, Chris Keller, what's up, brother? Mike Hunt, how you doing if you're still in here? Doom, Mongoose, Mike, OJ, what's up, everybody? I hope everyone's having a good week so far. My 6.0 finally started leaking coolant. Chudo, that's normally not a day that we celebrate. Itza, how you doing, brother? Whew. Taking it to TSD Friday. That's awesome that TSD is so close to you, man. That's 6.0 down. That's a shirt. I really need to get a notepad here and start writing down some of the stuff we talk about. That actually was something I wanted to do and didn't get time to do between work, trying to grab a workout, and all the other crap that happens with life. So how many 6 liters in here are currently leaking coolant is my question. Oh, nice holder. It's cool when people have these awesome shops by them. I'm lucky to have a DNA by me. You know, he wasn't definitely super well known, and but he's got an awesome shop, and he's in the area. He's very popular, so that's good and bad. If you want to get work done there, because it's good, he does good stuff. It's bad because he's backlogged, because he's got a lot of people that want him to do his truck, or do their trucks. But great place to go. Love those guys. Anyway, so guys, you know how we do this. Questions, you drop them, and when you guys don't have questions, we're going to talk about the topic of problems with the 6.0 Powerstroke and the 6.7 Powerstroke. So I do plan to release videos on these topics down the road. I just haven't gotten to them yet. And while I do firmly believe the 6.0 and the 6.7 are excellent platforms, I was actually just thinking about how I feel in many ways as I would take a 6.0 over an 11 through 14 6.7 in a lot of different instances. Actually, I don't believe the 6.7 really came into its own until the 2015 model year. It only leaks when it's cold out. That's odd. Typically, you have the opposite issue, Chris. Nick, how you doing, man? Nick, that is actually a mod I really would love to do at some point. And when my truck's back, I plan to do it. Yours isn't leaking anything because it's still in pieces. Nope, that'll be a problem. That'll definitely, I mean, like you said, it's not technically leaking. It's just a part. Says, I'm going to pull the cab. What do you recommend? Turbo and injectors. You pull 8K skid steer. Okay, so turbo combinations, Chudo. What? First off, okay, so you're telling me about 8K, 8 to 10K, we'll say. So not a crazy heavy load. I do have one more question. Are you running bigger tires with factory gearing? And also, are you at a high, kicking stuff. Are you at a high altitude? Because depending on those really depends on my overall 33s. So 33s aren't terrible. So you should be pretty good there. I didn't really notice a big difference when I went to 30. 35s, I noticed a difference. I didn't like factory gearing with 35s, especially with bigger turbos. Let's see here. San Antonio. Let's see San Antonio's elevation. Mike Hunt, Bulletproof Diesel does nice work. I know they have. I don't know. I go back and forth. I know they do really good work. They know a lot about 6 liters, and I think some of their stuff is nice. I think some of it, honestly, the only Bulletproof Diesel part I can say I really would want to purchase would be their EGR cooler if I was running one on my 6.0. If I was running one, I think their EGR coolers are probably some of the nicest on the market, to be perfectly honest. Hi, Iz. My pup's back. But, okay, 600 above sea level is not bad. Okay, so in that case, you have 2 options. I'm assuming since you said skid steer that you probably use this primarily. Izzy, can you come on this side? It's so much easier to pet you. No. I love this dog, but look at this. There it is. She likes attention. So anyway, so I'm gonna probably say only 2 years. It's just a short while. Exactly. Of course I run an EGR. I would never. I have. That's funny. The subscribers say hi, Izzy. Yes, they do. So anyway, on a work truck, I would say this. I think turbo-wise, I still really like the 10-blade turbine wheel, which Turbo Time USA does offer that on they exclusively use the 10-blade turbine wheel, which I'm actually a big fan of, because I do think when you really need to get in the throttle, you're better off that way. I would say overall, you tired pup. I would say overall, probably a 61 millimeter turbo from Turbo Time USA. Don't forget to use code 6.0 Bros. I'll type it down here. Izzy, you're making this really hard. That'll get you 5% off that turbo. Oh, KC Stage 1. So what about a KC Stage 2? So, okay. KC does make good products. I got to tell you, I've heard very, very little bad things about them. And, Mike, that's high. So a good thing, I will say this, KC Turbo, from what I understand, and I don't, for the record, I don't represent them and I don't speak for him. I'm just, from what I understand, the way they advertise their Stage 1 is as their tow turbo, very similar to how Turbo Time does it. And the difference is I really like the 10-blade in my experience with them. They advocate for the 13-blade. Now, you can pay, there is an upcharge and you can switch to the 10-blade on the KC, which I would recommend if you want to go that route. At the end of the day, they are both very similar turbos. I am obviously a big fan of Turbo Time USA. And with the coupon code, you can definitely get it cheaper than you could the KC. I will say this, I firmly believe both are of very similar quality, if not identical quality. Both take great pride in their work. I like Turbo Time USA. I've had a great partnership with them. Charlie over at KC Turbo is a very cool dude. He's done a lot for the community. I'm not going to advocate necessarily one way or the other. My preference, Turbo Time, but you can't go wrong with the KC Turbo at all. Your elevation isn't so much my concern. Like, you could go up to the KC Stage 1.5 and swap in the 10-blade as well. That'd be a 63.5 compressor wheel with the 10-blade turbine wheel would be a nice way of doing it. The other thing you could do is go to a Stage 2 Turbo Time USA. It goes to a 64 millimeter compressor wheel. And again, the 10-blade turbine wheel. They will perform similarly. Again, I do my preference, Turbo Time USA. But I do like the 10-blade, and here's why. Because I do see some questions asking specifically about the 10-blade for towing, because that goes kind of against conventional wisdom when it comes to towing. A lot of people advocate for the 13-blade turbine wheel. So one thing I will say, 13-blade is going to be quieter. So you can't deny that. Also, while cruising, you're going to be a little more in your boost because of the added back pressure caused by the 13-blade exhaust or turbine wheel. I personally like when you are full throttle in it, not necessarily full throttle, but when you're really in it pulling a grade or something like that. I really like that on a 10-blade. I've never had an issue maintaining exhaust temps with the 10-blade turbine wheel, ever. Unless something was wrong, then no. I've never had an issue in that department. So that's why I advocate for that. And again, the other reason asking, if you were running bigger tires and stuff, because a lot of people don't realize when you start running, say, a 35 or a 37-inch tire and 373 gears in a 6-liter, you're really pushing outside your efficiency range. So when you're trying to cruise at 55, 60 miles an hour, what's actually happening, even though technically you're probably 3 to 5 miles per hour faster than that, depending on, 35, 37-inch tires, your RPMs are really low. And I don't mean like stupid low, but they're probably like 1600-ish, depending on which tire you're at when you hit overdrive. So that's kind of an issue. And that is the only time I advocate for a 13-blade turbine wheel is for people that are trying to keep factory gears and bigger tires. A 13-blade turbine wheel will give you a little bit better drivability in that case. But ideally, the goal would be to set up your tire and gear ratio so that you're in your efficiency range where you should be. So that's kind of that. I do see another towing question. I know I'm getting behind. So yeah, my preference when you're not running super big tires would be the 10-blade turbine wheel, regardless of load, because you're going to have those lower exhaust temps. My dog's a little on the needy side tonight. And I've really had good luck with that. Mine doesn't like 40 to 45. Oh yeah, Matt, I agree with you 100%. I love my 6-liter, but I will say if I keep 35s on it, I will probably re-gear. But I plan to kind of, when the 6-liter is back, I plan to actually lift it higher when I do the axle swap. We'll probably go to a 4, somewhere in the 4 to 5-inch lift range. And then afterwards, we'll go to, when I get tired of that and that truck gets a little faster, we'll actually go back down to a lower stance and more of a street look with all terrains and just kind of a different look. But in which case, if that's the plan, I won't re-gear because re-gearing is expensive. Yes, Izzy. Let's see here. I know I'm missing some stuff here. Mike, man, 7,000 foot out elevation, 37s in stock gearing. That has to be brutal. Sometimes with that darn turbo and stuff, getting it to light right. So, Chudo, does that help answer your question? I thought I saw something about. Oh, explain the effects of elevation and effects on turbos and injectors. So the higher up in elevation you go, the thinner the air is. Now, turbocharged vehicles can be a little lucky in the sense of the turbocharger will help kind of mitigate some of that. But when you start talking large turbochargers, what happens there is they're typically sized for closer to sea level, say under 1,000 foot elevation. So my dog's a mess tonight. So anyway, when you start really getting up there, the oxygen content in the air is lower. This part gets a little nerdy, guys. Sorry. Thus leading to a less complete, less efficient combustion. So that's where making sure your air charge is even cooler, making sure that you're not running a crazy hot tune. If your turbo is large and you already have an issue in less efficient combustion happening, then you're going to have issues in the whole process. You're going to have a harder time lighting that turbo, so to speak. Now, VGTs typically don't have a huge issue in this area, but say you have a large set of tires that's already pushing your RPMs down, and then you put like a 64, 68 millimeter turbocharger on it, you're going to have big issues in keeping in things running correctly unless you have helped re-gear and stuff like that. So that's kind of why going at a higher elevation, there's less dense air density. causing less efficient burning of your fuel because there's less overall oxygen content in there. So that's kind of what's happening there. If you take the exact same truck, exact same setup, dyno it at sea level, and then take it to 7,000 foot elevation, you will get two very different numbers. You will see a drop. The vehicle will not run as well. Now, it doesn't mean like it's going to be skipping or anything like that. Like you're not going to have a super big problem, but it will not run as well at that elevation. 10 blade is awesome, but on long trips, it does get a bit annoying. Mike, I never minded it not towing, and when my RPMs were down, like cruising, I never minded it. But the last time I towed with my 6-liter with 35-inch tires and everything, what I noticed was I really needed to either go down in tire size or re-gear because with 13,000 pounds behind it, it just didn't like the right speed limit. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it ran great when I was in it, but it just didn't love that like 50 to 70 miles per hour, which obviously I was going a little faster than those because of the increased tire size. But I would definitely look at like it doesn't take a huge gear jump to bring it back down to a factory spec with 35s. But at 35s, I'd probably be looking at like 410s. Some people say that's not big enough of a jump. Some would say go to 430s, but I'm really just looking for that factory drive ratio. I'm not looking for anything more than that. In which case, then the 10 blade with, now mind you, I have a muffler on mine. It's a MagnaFlow muffler, and I've loved it. It didn't bug me. It wasn't until I'd spent a road trip where I was kind of fighting between needing to be down lower in the RPMs or speeding too much. When I was up there speeding, it was great. Maybe not the safest thing I did, but it really brought the noise level down because my temps weren't up super high, or my RPMs weren't up super high. Let's see here. What do you think your best 6.0 turbo injector tow build has been so far? So I love 175 stock nozzle injectors. I don't really care what anyone says. A lot of people try to fight me on this, and they were just really good running injectors. Sure, 30% nozzle give you more performance in like a race application, but from a towing standpoint, I don't see a huge, not saying you can't go to 30%, but if you're going to go 30%, I feel you should go 205/30 and call it a day. I think that if you're going to upgrade injectors, in my personal opinion, 175 stock nozzles, 205/30s, and I honestly think that would encompass like 85% of what 6-liter guys want. I think the other 10% would be fine with like a 255 75 or a 255 100% nozzle. And after that, we're talking crazy builds where you're not really looking at streetability of your truck. So I would say overall, I'd recommend a 175 stock nozzle 100%. Now, I will say this, I go back and forth. I would love at some point to really be able to test. I don't know how practical this would be, but I'd love to test like a 61 millimeter turbo with that injector and a 64 millimeter turbo from Turbo Time, and like literally do the same loop with similar conditions, like 100-mile loop, and see how they do. My guess would be that I would actually like the 61 millimeter more. Now, I towed with the Power Max and it did pretty good, but I do think either an aftermarket, like more of an aftermarket custom turbo, like what Turbo Time does, would probably have me a little happier with that overall. So that's probably the route that I would go. One of those two turbos would definitely be it. And I will say this, while I tend to steer pretty hard away from the 13 blade on towing applications, it would be kind of cool to trial one as well. Like I said, that's kind of out of the realm of being realistic, unless literally people were to buy turbos and say, hey, before I put this on my truck, do you want to do your test? It'd be a whole fiasco of stuff to do, but that would probably be the only way that happens. So yeah, I'd say I'd say a 61 millimeter or a 64 millimeter turbo. So the turbo time stage 1 or stage 2 turbos would really be your best bet. And if I had to guess overall, there'd be very little difference. If you are running 35s or bigger, I would go to the 61 millimeter. If you're running factory or 33-inch tires, I'd probably go to the 64 millimeter. Let's see here. Your 2015 started rear end shimmy. I asked Ford to check U joints. Once again, they were useless and tried to sell me junk I do not need. So you have a shimmy. Do you have a carrier bearing? Do you have a two-piece drive shaft? Because then my bet would be to check the carrier bearing, the drop bracket. And there's two things I would do. I would make sure that your angle's correct between your transmission and your rear diff. Make sure that like one angle is not significantly off from the other. There's drop brackets. So I don't know if you're lifted or if you have airbags on your 2015, but that would be something I'd check. I would definitely take a crowbar, not a crowbar. Oh, crowbar would work, pry bar, and try to see if there's any wiggle in the U joints. Typically U joints though. So like say you get up to speed, you're on the highway, and don't get me wrong, you'll have issues driving before the highway, but you get in the throttle, you have a vibration. You get off the throttle, you don't have a vibration. That is probably bad U joints in your drive shaft. That's probably the most common way they fail. Chudo, yeah, Turbo Time USA, I'll type it down here, 6.0 Bros. There should also be an affiliate link in the description of this video for them. Great guys, I think you'll love them. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Ethan, yes, that is correct. Thank you for helping with the codes. Feels like unbalanced tires, but had them recount and balanced to no avail. The 37s do make 65 more difficult. I just drive faster. Mike, yeah, I remember 75, 80. I'm not advocating to drive that fast, guys, but 65 or 75 to 80, even towing was like just beautiful with 35s. It's like it's like, oh, this is where the 6.0 is making its power. And it is right around that like 2,000 to 2,300 mark is like the ideal spot to cruise at in a 6-liter, in my opinion. Annoying meaning the loud whistle. Yeah, that's why I never straight piped my 6-liter, because on a loud trip, like, don't get me wrong, here and there, it'd be fine. And I tend to listen to music pretty loud. So it wouldn't be a big deal. It's one of those things. It's why I want to put a lot of sound deadening material in my 6-liter. Ugh, that was awful. Put a lot of sound deadening material in my 6-liter when it's back, because I love the whistle, but I also like being able to peacefully talk on my cell phone when I'm driving, through the stereo and stuff. And I can't do that in my 6-liter at the moment. So I'd like to get back to that. Oh man, I am getting behind. Can you adjust shift points with the SCT? Matt, so when you get a custom tune, they'll mess with your shift points. I do not recommend messing with shift points on your own unless you really, really know what you're doing. So I would just get a custom tune where they'll do it for you, but at the same time, it's different than re-gearing the vehicle to run where it's supposed to, where it was designed to, per se. Like, so for instance, the 6.7 runs 355 gears. So between the 6-speed transmission and where that engine's making its power, they determined that they can do that efficiently without sacrificing drivability. And anyone that's gone from a 6-liter to a 6.7 will notice they like to run pretty low RPMs most of the time. So that's just part of a more modern transmission with really high pressures. The 6.7 transmission runs super hot. But my point is, the engine, transmission setup, and final gear ratio all play into where that determines. And a 6-liter, in my opinion, just does really, really well at 373s for most people. Does that have... I know I'm getting for Xmas from Bless then. Matt, if I don't know if he's still running he was running a discount code for 25% off, like Bless 25, I believe was the code. I don't know how long he was running that. If not, use code 6.0 Bros for 10% off, which reminds me, guys. So we have the channel membership going on. And this week for the first tier, which currently it's additional videos. So the last video I released was kind of one of those videos that was going to go under the membership section in the future. I'm going to do a few of those to see if people like them, and then they'll go to the membership section from there. So the first tier is $2 a month. And don't get me wrong, it's not my major content. It's more behind the scenes stuff, random things, sneak peeks at future things coming down the road. So it's not like anyone on the channel is going to miss stuff. But some of those extra things, like, I did an oil change and showed some random stuff and was getting ready to shoot the next video coming out, actually. So that's the first tier. The second tier is going to have, I talked to Blessed Performance, and what's going to happen is for people that do the second tier membership, it's $10 a month. But one of the perks is you're going to get a special discount code for Blessed Performance for 15% off. I asked him if he would take away any reimbursement to me for the people that will have the special discount code and give it all to them. And he said, absolutely. So it's going to be 15% off Blessed Performance for that level 2 membership for those. Also, there'll be a constant discount code on Teespring for our merch store as well for that group of people. That will always be something higher than what gets released to the public, since you guys would be supporting the channel in a monthly payment. So something to consider, guys. And I know it's been a tough year, but I just want to throw it out there. There are going to be perks for people that do those things in the form of constant discounts that'll always be made available to them, especially while we have our partnership with Blessed Performance, which has been super cool to have. Now, the 6.0 Bros code's not going anywhere for 10% off. That's always going to be out there, guys. So nothing's really changing. Just for people that do that second tier membership, there will be some additional perks for you guys. Let's see here. Turbo sounds like it's sticking. What can I do? It's my daily and my only vehicle right now. So Tevin, so the first thing I do is I'd verify that it's actually sticking. Sometimes with VGT turbos, guys, people think something's happening, and really it turns out to be a sensor. So I'd be double checking exhaust back pressure sensors. Check your readings on these things. Boost, mass airflow sensor, and obviously the VGT solenoid. Sometimes it can just be the VGT solenoid. It's getting a little lazy. It's getting a little worn out. That's one thing you could look at. Depending on mileage and stuff, it could just need rebuilt, or it could need just cleaned up and stuff. So the best way to probably gauge if your VGT turbo is sticking would be you want to bring up boost, exhaust back pressure, and your VGT duty cycle on a scan tool of some kind, whether it be an Edge CTS of any of the Insight, the original 2 or 3, all will read it. Torque Pro or a 4Scan as well. So whatever you have accessible to you, use it. And basically what you want to do, you want to watch your exhaust back pressure rise or decrease. So as your exhaust back pressure will peak, it should come back down as the vanes open up in your turbo. Your boost should go up. It'll all kind of stabilize. I would recommend doing a few like quarter throttle or quarter mile pulls. Maybe not quite a quarter mile, like an eighth should be able to. If you do a couple of them, you should be able to read everything. The other thing in conjunction with that, you want to check at your VGT duty cycle. So that is a range of 15 to 85%. At 85%, they're pretty much closed, and at 15%, they're pretty much as open as they'll get. You should not see either of those anything outside of like idle. As soon as you get in it, you shouldn't see something that high. On custom tunes, you can if you have them trying to do like a whistle tune, and you can see 15 if you want like a rumble tune to it. So get in it and monitor that. So if you notice that your boost is going up or is higher than it should, then higher than normal, and it's commanding like 15, 25% on your VGT duty cycle, that's telling you that the computer is trying to open them to alleviate some of the back pressure and bring your boost down as well, and vice versa in the opposite direction. If you're not building boost and your back pressure is real low and it's commanding like 75-80% on your VGT duty cycle, that's saying, hey, it's trying to build boost and back pressure to get this turbo spooled, and it can't. That'd indicate that you have a stuck VGT system. Man, I am getting behind here. Sorry, guys. I will try to not be quite so long-winded. Sean, how we doing, man? Best gear for a 40 to 42 inch tire, man. You're probably talking as big of a gear as you can fit. At least like a 450 range, I would imagine. Maybe even like 480. I don't know how big they make for the stock housing, but yeah, you'd want to go with a pretty big gear, man. Transmission mount, good recommendation, John. What do you usually check for draining a battery? Mine now goes dead after 1 week. Sean, so I would check all your grounds. So make sure each battery has a good ground to the frame to the body, and engine to the frame. And I would add more, to be honest, too. The other thing I'd look at is try to get a sight on your starter. There's a ground on that solenoid sometimes goes out. I would check there too. In my experience, I don't see a lot of like something kind of draining the battery as I do bad grounds is probably the most common thing. So you could just reground that all those spots, each battery. You could connect the power wire, like the power side, from one to the other with a big thick wire as well. And you could redo the alternator to a power line on one of the batteries and just see if that does it. But I think most likely you're having probably a grounding issue as opposed to a true drain on your batteries. Whew, 15 degrees is cold. Jay, it's hard to say without seeing it. I would check your heater core connections. Would probably be my first spot. I would check the valley of the engine, see if it's wet in there. It could be something from the oil cooler housing. It could be the hose alongside that goes, like there's a metal tube that comes in front, like at a 45-ish degree angle, and then curves around the intake manifold and heads back to your heater core. Excuse me, it could be any part of that hose. There's normally like a vacuum valve in there for your max AC. I would also check there. Most likely those are one of your places that you're leaking coolant from. It could also be a level of condensation as like things cool down and stuff. Don't rule that out, but definitely check everything. Man, Chris, a 2005 250 with 48 original miles. Whew. Man, I wish I had more money. I'd offer you something for that darn truck. I would love to get my hands on a low mile 6-liter at some point, but I don't see that happening. So at some point, I'd like to fully restore a 6-liter. Should you update the EGR cooler and oil cooler before issues or wait? Yeah, I would say definitely look at, first off, I would test your oil cooler and find out if you're having any issues. If you're not having any issues, I wouldn't do it. Your EGR cooler, on the other hand, if that previous owner hasn't updated or if you're owned it from new, first off, that's awesome. Second, if the previous owner had it, whatever, I would make sure to address it. You know, if you need to keep the EGR cooler on, then I would go Bulletproof Diesel. Is probably the nicest, but there are other really nice EGR coolers out there today, so that's not your only option. Jay, yeah, no, it could be a level. It really could be condensation that like as things are heating up and cooling down, it happened to cause like, not that you don't want to address it, but that's one thing I'd look for. Maybe part of your AC system could be leaking. It runs a high oil temp and I don't want to mess with the oil cooler. Well, Mason, unfortunately, if you have high oil temps and your coolant temps are in check, you don't really have a choice but to change your oil cooler. That is my only recommendation, would be to put flush the cooling system really, really well. And then make sure to drain all the water out, change the oil cooler, and then refill with Cat EC1 rated coolant. Carrier bearing down to correct driveline angles. It may be shimmed an eighth to a quarter. It's a Mia. I agree with you there. Ethan, well said, my friend. After it got above freezing. Jay, then I'm going to say, honestly, it's probably like water in the air that kind of like got like frost on it and then melted, would be my guess. I don't think you have anything to worry about, man. I know, I want to keep it stock, really torn with such low miles. Well, I mean, Chris, honestly, you don't like, I don't get me wrong, we're all going to advocate for like do some cool stuff, but at the same time, like there's something about just a clean truck. I honestly, man, I mean, technically, so how the EGR coolers typically fail on a 6 liter tends to be from issues with the oil cooler. The oil cooler fails from the silicates in the Ford Gold coolant dropping out of suspension and clogging it. Also, different metals in the block, as rust forms in there, it gets in there, it gets stuck in the oil cooler, causing these issues. Now, from what I see, all the research I've done with ELC, is specifically EC1 rated, which is a CAT rating, you typically don't have rust issues from what I've seen. So at that point, I would say, yeah, you don't have anything to worry about as long as your oil and coolant temps are well within spec. That being said, it still has a higher failure rate, and down the road, I would honestly plan to upgrade to a superior unit. I will say this: putting one of those bulletproof EGR coolers in doesn't change the function of the vehicle at all. So you're fine there. And I would also make it routine to clean your EGR valve like yearly. It's 2 bolts. It's right on top. Relatively easy to pull out. I would pull that out yearly and just clean it real good and pop it back in, just so you don't have issues. But that's not a super big deal. Sounds like Canada. Speaking of, Mike, what platform are you working with that you're looking for tunes from? Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm super far behind. I just need to restore and proper to still flush from new gas. Add coolant filter. Deltas fluctuate between 8 and 10, so I guess they are okay. Yeah, Chris, those aren't bad. Be careful doing a restore flush, because that chemical flush loosens anything up and sometimes will cause oil cooler failures. So typically you want to do the restore flush just prior to doing an oil cooler replacement. Sorry, guys. I am trying to... Guys, just remember, if you have a question when answered right now, super chat it and we stop to it. But that being said, I get to as many of these as I can, and I think I do a pretty good job of answering everybody. So just bear with me here. Your turbo acting a bit weird since muffler fell off. Tried camera. Did you... Matt, are you running factory tunes? Your truck has been down a while. It's not running good. No power, does not downshift when stop and sputter when flat flooded. Stacy, do you have any codes or anything to go on? Have you verified that the engine itself is running good, meaning you have good fuel pressure, you have good oil pressure, no boost leaks, no exhaust leaks? Do you run FICM tunes with your PCM tunes? If so, which one do they make a difference in power economy? So I do recommend FICM tunes. I have not personally done it yet, but the research I have in it shows that there is benefit to running FICM tunes on a 6-liter in conjunction with PCM tunes. Now, it will not stack. So if you're running a 150 horsepower performance tune and the 40 horsepower Atlas tune, it's not going to turn that into a 190 tune. There's some overlap. But the FICM tuning really is just kind of fine-tuning the FICM itself, leading to better overall performance. And a lot of people do report mild increases in fuel economy of a half a mile to a full mile per gallon more. So is it going to pay for itself tomorrow? No, but I do think it's a worthwhile upgrade and they also report better drivability. So that's a big help. Let's see here. What's the biggest hoodies y'all offer? I know off topic, but hey, Danny, I honestly don't know. I'm actually, I know it doesn't necessarily look it, but I'm a pretty big dude. I'm 250 pounds, and my hoodies fit. I wear a 2X. I think they have 3 and maybe 4X as well. But I would definitely check out Teespring because I find that they have more offerings across the board. I would check them out. But I do also have a merch by Amazon store as well, but I don't have hoodies up there. What was your thoughts on a 6.4? John, so the 6.4 is a powerhouse of an engine. It definitely has its issues. My biggest concern with the 6.4 is really the pistons. Now, can you make one run well and not have issues? Yes, but you're talking basically a full rebuild and using like steel pistons that the guys over at Kill Devil Diesel offer. It's expensive. It really is expensive. Now, there's plenty of guys out there that are running high miles on them. But generally speaking, the 6.4 has a higher failure rate than a lot of the other diesels. I do think they're one of the coolest looking Fords, honestly. And it was the first year they had a more modern interior, like a truly revised interior. Like 05 got a mild upgrade, but 08 really got a cool upgrade. And they've actually kept with it almost until like, I think 2017. So there were some minor changes in that time, don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, it was a very similar upgrade. F450, great trucks. I would definitely make sure you're doing towing to justify a 450. The 6.4 is kind of mixed. There's people that have really good luck. There's people that have terrible luck with them. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for any random people that joined in. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. If you haven't already, hit the like button. We're gonna that was a terrible sentence. We're gonna get back to the comment section in just a minute. First off, guys, it was just brought up a second ago. There you can see 6.0 Bros. Check out the merch store, Teespring. There'll be some new releases coming out for the holiday season. I know I've been talking about this, but I am going to sit down and do this. I got to get another video edited for you guys. It's going to be a bunch of exhaust notes from the 6.7. So that stuff's coming, so bear with me. I hope you guys enjoy the merch store. Also, guys, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to have 3 winners of a giveaway. It's going to have our 10K Club t-shirts that will be coming out. That'll be limited edition. Also, we'll be getting you guys some tuning from the guys at Blessed Performance. I'm going to purchase you tunes from him for your truck. And if you don't have tuners, I might be able to even work something out in that department. I have a few extras. But no purchasing of anything will be necessary. We just have to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of December for the giveaway. So we can do it, guys. We need less than 350 new subscribers to hit our goal. So I know you guys can make that happen. Also, check out channel memberships and the perks if you guys are interested. There'll be special discount codes for the tier 2 perks. I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping people up to date on this stuff as we're going. So I'm trying to rapid fire it out so I can get back to the comment section starting now. Whew, man. John, so I don't think it's a bad motor, but it definitely has a higher failure rate than other diesel engines. I'd personally rather own a 6.0. The 11 through 14 6.7s were good. I'd rather have a 15 or newer, though, in my personal opinion. I would love to come and swap an 08 through 10. That's a terrible idea, Ethan. Build a 6.4, it'll outperform any Cummins, in my opinion. I lost my spot. Sometimes this thing like jumps to the bottom of all of this, and I struggle. Don't need a tune. I'm running innovative diesel extreme street tune and absolutely love them. Just curious about options in case I want to use your delete. So Mike, here, so we're not going to really talk about the one mosh you just talked about, but here's what you do. All the tuners can still accommodate your modification list. You just kind of got to slide it in there and they'll take care of you. If you need anything, let me know. When you are ready for something like that, I do highly recommend Bless Performance. He's been awesome with the discount code, 10% off. You know, he's not the cheapest tuner out there, but I do think you get really high customer service. He reminds me a lot in his tuning of Windrunner Performance, which used to be like my favorite tunes to run. And he can definitely kind of make it special to what you want. If you want something modified or changed, you know, just let him know. He's really super helpful in these things. So when you are going that route, but Truck Source Diesel, Warren Diesel, Gearhead, Quick Tricks, I'm sure all still do the same thing. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. Don't let all the hype get you out there like they kind of talk about. The PHP tuners choose a Ficum tune whenever I want, just have not had a chance to try it out yet. So Nick, especially if you're running tunes on top of it, like ECM tunes, I would recommend either the Economy or the 40. You want to be, hey, John, welcome in, brother. You want to be cautious when you get, some tuners will even say specifically don't run the 80 or the Hercules, the 100 horsepower tune, to stick with the Economy and 40. And a lot of guys were actually seeing more power, not by a drastic amount, but running ECM and like an Economy or 40 horsepower, Ficum tune over the guys running 80 and 100 Ficum tunes. Just kind of things where that's been a lot of people's experience. Just like a lot of people actually see the best power numbers in like the 50 to 55 PSI fuel pressure range. So contrary to what a lot of people would think, that's where they were seeing their best numbers. Whew, man, lots of talking. I'm so far behind. Guys, I am sorry. I am trying very hard. How far? Holy crap, I'm like 8 minutes behind on comments. My contact's messing up there. Not sure about the codes, but it doesn't show a check engine light. Stacy, I would still definitely check to see if there isn't a light in the background. Ooh, I'm almost actually caught up. John, not a problem, man. Happy to help. Done both 6.4 is easier to make power Cummins, less stressful to come and swap. White noise for life. Yeah, no, Joshua, I gotta tell you, I love my Windrunner Performance tunes. I'm sad Nate got out of doing it. Email tunes it because he really was a great tuner. And I was immensely happy with what he was doing. But Bless Performance seems to have he kind of learned some stuff from him. He's not the same tuner as Windrunner, but I also don't think it's a bad thing. I think he brings his own unique spin to it, and I do really love his tunes on the 6.7. I'm excited to try them on a 6.0. Two of you guys reached out to me saying you'd let me actually, in exchange for tunes, you guys would let me run them on your truck. So I'm going to actually see if maybe I can't get both of you guys 2 tunes each and maybe use both of you. That is in the works. I just haven't had a chance to get that far. It's been super busy, but that is the plan. So hopefully soon we have Bless Performance tunes being reviewed for 6 liters coming very soon. Yeah, they really are. Doom, welcome, brother. I don't know if Doom, have you been in here? I haven't seen you in forever. At least not here. So, Doom, if you've missed it, brother, I was just telling them a few times here. The second tier level of channel membership is going to get a special discount code for Blessed Performance. It'll also be a special code for our merch store. And I'm gonna talk to Turbo Time USA and see if maybe I can't get an additional discount code for you guys over there as well, to try to give you guys a little more of a discount than what everyone else gets. So I'm working on adding some value to these memberships. But the second tier membership, what happens is the Blessed Performance tune is a 15% off code as opposed to the 10 that everybody gets. So that second tier membership will always have higher discount codes than the codes I already provide for everybody on a regular basis, just for people that are, supporting the channel on a monthly basis through those things. So that is in the works, but Blessed Performance is cool with the 15% off. He agreed to that. And I have control of my own merch store, so I definitely am going to be doing that as well when people sign up. And there'll be no seasons for any of those codes. They'll just always be present. The Blessed Performance, I should look this up. See, I forget when his code ended. He was given 25% off tuning for the holidays. Let me quick pull up his Instagram and see if he's still doing that. Tyler, I missed it. What did I say was better? Hey, Chris, thanks for subscribing, man. And anytime if you ever need help, I'm happy to help. You take care, man, and thanks for subscribing. Love it. Bulletproof DGR deleted and studded 6.0 liter better than a 6.4. It defined better is really what you need to do there. Hold on, that's Kill Devil Diesel. Black Friday 2020. SPE had discount codes. Come on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find the darn special. Offer valid until 12/2. Use Blessed 25 for 25% off tuning at Blessed Performance, guys. Sorry for ignoring you all for a minute. Which is better for towing? Tyler, did I miss something, a definition of better? But we'll come down to 6.0 versus 6.4. Define better because the 6.4 is going to make more power. The 6.0, in my opinion, the 6.0, in my opinion, is going to be more reliable. I know people don't associate the 6.0 and reliability hand in hand like that, but in my opinion, the 6.0 is a more reliable engine than the 6.4. My dog coming back for more. Right, she's a very needy pup today. I know you guys like seeing her. Say hi, Izzy. Yes. Anyway, the 6.0 does sound better too. But the 6.4 is going to easily make much more power, much easier than a 6 liter will all day. I think it would, when running right, I think it would probably outperform in towing as well, in my opinion, just based on what I know with those that weird compound setup they have. So kind of pick your poison, so to speak. That being said, they're expensive. You still have head gasket issues. You still have oil cooler issues. You still have sorry. I gotta finish reading that. But yeah, no. So that's it's hard. It's hard to tell. Best daily driver tune for a 6 liter. Garrett, my current recommendation is Blessed Performance, and if you buy through tonight, Blessed 25 will get you 25% off. That's his code, not mine. But get you 25% off. Definitely let him know I sent you though. I would say that's probably one of the best daily driving tunes out there. I love them on my 6.7 and plan to run them on 6 liters soon and do reviews for you guys. Excuse me. 64 millimeter X88 turbo. I have no idea what turbo that is. B&M, not familiar with them. MagnaFlow 5-inch Cat 3 EGR. Yes, bulletproof. Actual bulletproof from. Oh, cool. Performance tune. I need a good tuner to utilize. Sean, I would definitely say, again, blessed performance. And right now is a great time to, I can't say it enough. Blessed 25 gets 25% off his tuning. The rest of the year, use code 6.0 Bros for 10% off his tuning in case you're not in the market to buy a tune right now. I think, I'm not sure if it's 12/2 it's done or all of tomorrow yet too, but blessed 25% off. That's hard to beat. I use anti-gel, so I do use a lot of arch oil products. And then in the wintertime, I tend to keep a bottle of Diesel 911 around in case. Izzy, what are you doing? Stop it. I do keep a bottle of Diesel 911 around for emergencies in case something gels up. It's also not a bad idea to keep a spare set of fuel filters around in case they gel up, so you can just replace your fuel filters and go. Holy crap. I'm caught up in the comment section. Yeah, Hotshot Secrets is I hear a lot of good stuff about them. I'm not super familiar with them, but I do hear good stuff from them. So there's always that. Are we going to actually have a second to talk about 6.0 and 6.7 problems for a change? Wow. I'm new here. Thanks for the love. Looking him up now. Yeah, Sean, he's a good guy. He's a channel sponsor. Been really happy with working with him. And he's been, like I said, he's been great. Sorry, guys. My dog she's all up in my grill today. So, oh, guys, Raptor grills. Raptor grills for the 6 liter are back on Amazon. I used to get a lot of questions when the 6 liter was on here about Raptor grills because the letters went away for a while. And now it looks like they're back and the price is starting to finally come down on them. There for a while, they were stupid expensive. Nope, I lied. Some of these are looking expensive again. Nope, here's one. Here's the 216. That's much better than it's been for a lot of these. Do you guys think, so what do you think? Should we put a Raptor grill on the 6.7? I don't know if it's tacky doing it on both trucks or not. Yeah, I can't say I've ever had gelling issues, even when it's pretty cold, because typically the diesel fuel switched over, and we normally get pretty treated stuff up here. But then I like to throw in some other, I typically use arch oil pretty frequently. Chrome grill is better? Okay. I would like no Raptor on the 6.7. Do you guys still like the Raptor grill on the 6.0? Because I got to tell you, I love my Raptor grill. Do you guys not like it anymore? I get a ton of questions about those Raptor grills. I do want to do something with the grill on the 6.7 though. I will say I'm not sold on the Raptor grill for it. I do think they look cool, but I just kind of already not a Raptor grill fan. It's fine on the 6.0. Okay. So the ideal look that I want to do, I'd like to do, I want to do paint to match part of the grill and then part of it, I'd like to get like the center bars, the platinum ones that have all the freaking holes in them. I'd like to put that on there. I'll buy your Raptor grill off the 6.0, then you will only have one. Yeah, so I want to get like just that platinum insert, maybe the little L, I guess semi U's on the side of the center part, and then paint to match the rest of it, and then paint to match my front bumper. Would be my is what I'd like to do when I'm not saving up for the 6 liter repair, because it's probably going to be a bad day, guys. So, which I mean, I know this isn't really the conversation topic when I have downtime, but the 6.0, I was thinking about this more the other day. And what I really think I think what is probably a really viable option for what happened is I wonder if one of the lifter trays, so those of you guys that don't know, you have your lifters that sit down in, and then there's trays that bolt down and hold them in place. Those trays are only made of plastic. And I didn't replace them when I replaced all the lifters. So I was wondering if maybe one of those failed, 200,000 miles of heat cycles. I get that thing super hot. But I will say, I think we don't know till it gets torn down. That cylinder head's going to have to come off no matter what. And I think that could be something we see is lifter failure. Let's see here. My 6.0, when I first started, I hear the noise of the fuel pump. Hunter, are you running an aftermarket pump? Yeah, Nick, I think that is something that's happening. Hunter, I love arch oil. I have a whole video talking about arch oil. Guys have fresh batteries and good flow. Yeah, so this is something I need to do a winter prep video for it because bad batteries show. Check your grounds, guys. Grounds are a big thing. I actually plan to reground parts on the 6.7 just to make sure everything's good to go. And when the 6.0 is back, we're definitely going to, which reminds me, someone asked about sound deadening. I have not used any yet. My plan is, so I need the darn 6-liter back. One, I miss it. Two, you guys respond so much better to 6-liter content. And I think if I had a 6-liter on the channel, you guys would probably watch the 6.7 content more too. So anyway, I digress a little bit, but best batteries, there's a debacle. I feel like every couple years the best battery switches and it's just a mess. But anyway, yeah, so when I do it, my plan is to gut the interior. We're going to get a bunch of sound deadening. We're going to run all of our wires, back to where I need them. And I might even run an extra one just to make in case of future whatever. But then we're going to put a bunch of sound deadening down, and then we're going to get new carpet with added backing to it to try to sound deaden it more. We're going to put a bunch on the doors as well, and hopefully that gives me something that resembles how quiet the interior of my 6.7 is. But when I want to hear the 6.0 whistle, just put my window down a little bit and bam. Since batteries are coming up, that Interstates are not great batteries. So since batteries are talking, I like Ford Motorcraft. I've had good experience with them. 3 years full replacement, that's hard to beat. 3 years full replacement and 5 years prorated, that's pretty nice. I do believe that battery quality changes every couple years, if not yearly, depending on how contracts people have and switching stuff around. So I do believe it's hard to keep the best, who the best battery is out there. So I don't know. Guys, so update on the subscriber count here. We're at 9,658, meaning we need 342 subscribers by the end of December. We can do it. In my opinion, batteries, get a good warranty, keep an eye on them, make sure they're not doing it. I got Dynamat throughout my entire truck. Huge. You'll love it. I didn't do the floor though. Oh, Sean, that's because the floor is such a pain. I mean, I plan to do the ceiling too in the white truck. If there's a piece of metal, I'm putting sound deadening on it to definitely. And I love the 6-liter, but I will say driving the 6.7, even with it, the muffler delete, it's still really, really quiet inside. It's not terribly loud outside, but it's definitely louder, and you barely tell a difference on the inside. Foil foam and double up in areas also helps to insulate the truck too. Just make sure you get the 8. Oh yeah, definitely get the 855s. Don't get the 750s unless you live in like Texas. But yeah, no. So the sound deadening throughout. We're gonna do the ceiling too because the sunroof doesn't retract anymore. It broke, so I need to get the kit to fix that. And then once we fix that, we're gonna sound deaden the whole roof as well. So lots of nonsense with that 6.0 when it comes back, and that'll be a project. Now I'm not gonna do all those projects in a single day. So I'll probably repair the sunroof and sound deaden the roof. I'll probably do the doors one day. I'll probably do any panels inside that are easy that don't involve carpet removal. And then we'll start removing seats and carpet at that point. We'll probably do seats and carpets on a weekend. What's nice is I'll have my black truck, so it's not like I need to hurry up and rush and get the project done. But then turn around, and I think brand new carpet, one will be really cool. I might even change the color of the carpet. We're looking at getting the seats maybe reupholstered as well. Definitely at least my driver's seat needs done. Man, dude, Mike, that's forever ago. You guys have no idea how, don't get me wrong, I love all of my subscribers. You guys mean the world to me and the support you give me. But the guys that have been around since like 5 or 6, like, do you guys realize how terrible my content was at 5 or 6 subscribers? It was not good at all. This channel has grown a lot. I've grown a lot in doing what I do. It's funny, guys ask me all the time, do you follow this person? Do you follow that person on YouTube? And honestly, I watch Slow Restoration because he's a cool dude. I like what he does. I watch Hammer Down Motorsports because he's another cool dude, and he's been very helpful to me as far as teaching me some stuff. I'm very grateful for him. Send It Steve is a cool guy. I watch his stuff, but like I watch a handful of guys and that's it. And they're typically people that, I know personally. So Rippin 6.0 is a longtime subscriber. He doesn't really do a lot, but he does do some cool stuff when he does. But really like him and his wife have come out to meet me, and their little kid I've seen once. Like, they're just awesome people. So those are the guys I watch. The other time it's really researching how to improve what I do. That's really what I watch on YouTube now. Before sound, yeah. Oh my God, Mike, do you remember the rear axle video we did on Josh's truck? I was trying to set the camera up. Josh wouldn't wait for me to set the camera up, and he'd start talking, and you'd have all this me touching the camera. Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible, our audio. How about start planning a meetup for spring? Plenty of time to start planning now. Doom, I am definitely in for that. I need to look up. Bit of a joke. Doom and Nick, where are you guys at in the world? So I would love to plan a few meetups along the way. And one of the places I definitely would want to do something in my home area. I just need to find a place to do it. Josh and I do have fun working together. Unfortunately, I hope one day we get back to those videos. They were really fun time for us. Oh man, Colin, you're a hike. So, hey guys, as soon as this channel is successful and I can just stop working as a nurse full time, I will do multiple meets honestly, I'd love to do meets across the country. Get out and see Powerstroke out west, go out and even though I don't run any of their products, but like go out. I've bought a lot from KC Turbo over the years, but random crap. Go out and meet KC Turbo, who's a super cool guy, Charlie and everything he does. Do Maryland. Maryland's not far at all. So yeah, no, I would yeah, Mike, we were quite the frickin' duo. I was clearly Batman and Josh was clearly Robin, messing everything up. And I get to say that because he's not here. He's probably not watching. So, though he does watch sometimes, it surprises me. He starts getting in the comment section saying crazy nonsense. You're within 15 minutes from Field of Dreams. I didn't. Wow, that's cool. That's super cool. You could have a beach meet near me. I'm 35 minutes from the beach. Colin, didn't you say you're like in Alabama? How am I going to get down to Alabama? So no, I would definitely like to. So one thing we could all go Carlisle in the summer. I would definitely be into meeting at Ford Nationals. I wonder if I can put one of my trucks in Ford Nationals. It'd be cool if I don't really know much about Ford Nationals. Yes, Izzy? Do you guys see what I'm working with here? Yes? Don't get all. She really wants to play, I can tell. I'm sorry, Iz. But no, Ford Nationals, that's actually honestly a good idea because it's a big event and you guys could definitely come for that. I'd also like I would love, some of you guys may remember a few years ago. Those of you guys that have been watching for a while probably remember I think it was 2 years ago. I raced in 2 of the YouTube callouts. Now I was not called out, but I paid to go race in them, and that was a good time. And I got to meet some subscribers there. I would love if they brought them back when my 6.0's back up and running, and could get you guys to come out to something like that, where it's not just me, but you get to see all these amazing people and cars and trucks there. That would be really cool. So I would love for them when my 6.0's back. You drive a 6.0 to Alabama, that's how. Yeah, I should look at that. Maybe if Georgia, that would be another excellent idea. But I don't know if I have the free time to make it to Georgia for our meet and back up before work. Let me look up Ford Nationals here. For 2021. Carlisle Ford Nationals, June 4th through June 6th. That would be cool. I know you're super busy with work and everything, but still looking forward to you starting a second channel for your gun stuff. Yeah, Mike, I honestly, I would love, like, I do. Ideally, I'd like to get to a point where I actually have 3 channels. I'd like to do stuff with guns. I'm very big into that. I'm a super First and Second Amendment supporter. As well, Constitution as a whole, I'm a pretty big fan of. And then I'd like to do fitness stuff as well. There he is. I was waiting for him to chime in. I mean, you can't have that there, Josh, though. We could also do a Cecil dragway. No, I would love Cecil County drag meet. That would be cool. I would definitely love to do that when the 6 liter's back up. The 6 liter we obviously want to do more racing with. That's kind of what I love about that. Although it's fun to daily too. Did he say Robin? Good times. So yeah, no, definitely I would love to do a meet next year. And honestly, Ford Nationals is really probably what I think I should do. I have that saved up here. I'm gonna look at especially if my white truck, if I have that back, see how much it is to enter. Doom, was that you that said you've been Doom? What was it like? How much was it to actually enter and bring your vehicle and stuff there? Because that would be really cool to do Ford Nationals. I know my truck probably isn't really what people go up there for, but if it gave you guys a place to, I'm always here, little bro. But if that's something you guys were into, that'd be awesome. Mike, I agree with you 100%. Colin, that I think it would be worth you taking a 16-hour drive to meet this random guy in Pennsylvania that likes to make videos. Oh, Doom, you will love that setup, man. But yeah, no, it would be really cool to get to. It's been a while since we so chat away, Josh. That's true. Guys, Josh is super busy. He's probably on. What you guys don't realize is Josh doesn't stop from like the moment he wakes up until he goes to bed at night. He is constantly working on something, whether it's home improvement or actual work at a laptop. He probably clocks in like 15 hours a day of work until I go bug him. Then I probably bring his productivity down substantially at that point. Hey, we got another Josh in here. Yeah, that's right, Nick. He does steal drinks. I'm glad somebody remembers what I have to deal with. It's 99% Mustangs. Well, maybe I can con Josh into putting his 2016 in there too. Maybe Josh and I can both get up at Ford Nationals. That would be cool. I race anybody at who can pull a 6.0 turbo the fastest. I'm pretty fast at pulling 6-liter turbos. Does it need to look pretty? Because I can. I do not empty your fridge weekly. So my fastest time pulling a 6-liter turbo is literally like 10 minutes. It wasn't pretty, but it got out. And I didn't break anything when I did it, but I really needed to get my truck apart and back together and get to work that day. So that was, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend racing on how fast you can pull a turbo. No, just throwing parts on the garage floor. I think I did 13 minutes. 13 minutes on pulling a turbo is fast. I will say that. He earns every inch of that XXL. Yeah, no, 13. Ethan, I don't know if I could. It's been a while since I've pulled a 6-liter turbo, but I mean, I am pretty quick, especially if it's a factory truck that you don't have to work around nonsense. I can pull a 6-liter turbo fast. It's all in the right tools. 17 minutes, in my opinion, if you have a 6.0 turbo out in 30 minutes or less, you're doing pretty good. In my experience, don't get me wrong, I think over 30 minutes, it should be like your first time, or you're really going, or filming backs so much of that up. Maybe when my white truck's back, I'll do a video seeing on how fast I can actually pull one if I can back it up. But it's been a while. But yeah, no, when I was in a hurry and I needed to go, I can rip those turbos out pretty quick. I've also taken them out more and put them back in more times than I care to admit. Putting them back in is the hard part. You got to make sure you loosen up that exhaust manifold. I did once wrestle a turbo back in completely lined up properly without messing with the Y pipe at all. I don't know how I did it because I didn't know what I was doing, so it was a complete fluke that it happened. Powerstroke gods. Mike, that's not bad from under the truck. Honestly, I've gotten late. Like, I have replaced the ICP from underneath it once, and I hated it, but it did work. I'm a fan, honestly. Now I get like a crow's foot, and I pull the degas bottle forward, and I just kind of get my hand back there over the fickum with like an extension. I did a video on it. So let's see. We got some. Oh, I wish I had a topside creeper. That is me laying over the grill. There's no topside creeper at the 6.0 bros. I wish I had one, and hopefully one day I have the space to put it, but at this time I do not. So it's climb up on the grill, lay across the radiator support, and um, hope it doesn't hurt that bad when it's all said and done. Best turbo for a commuter. I'd say a 64 millimeters my go-to turbo for most people, and I get a lot of positive feedback from people talking about that turbo. So that would definitely be my recommendation. 64 millimeter turbo from Turbo Time USA. Use code 6.0 Bros for 5% off. The hood latch has sometimes hit a few bad spots. Blessed performance tuning, you recommend choose closed or open. So here's one thing people don't realize about open vein tuning. Some people love the sound of like more of that traditional V8 rumble. That's great. Second Kind of Cool. I'm not knocking that at all. That's a shout out to Nut and Fancy for Second Kind of Cool stealing that. But you're also going to cause some lag because the vanes are all the way open for that to happen. So you get that V8 rumble. So the turbo has to then close them up before you start really spooling the turbo at all. Whereas if you have closed vein turbo or a closed vein tuning, they're already closed, ready for you to take off. So you don't have as much adjustment when you start hitting the throttle. Me personally, I love that whistle you get. So I'm all for closed vein tuning. And just the fact that you have less lag makes it even better, in my opinion. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, smash that right now for me. Always try to get every time you guys, for those of you guys that don't think hitting that like button helps, every time we have a huge hit on that during a live stream, the live streams do so much better afterwards. And this one I don't expect to do super well because we haven't really talked about the conversation topic much, but it is a good one. Dude, the hood latch is going to be the death of me. What's the age difference between Josh, you, and Jordan? So Jordan and I are twins, actually. I'm 2 minutes older. Josh is 6 years older than me. So he's getting old. He's no spring chicken anymore. I'm sure I'll have to pay for that comment because I think he's still listening. So expect him to be making fun of me. If I had to guess, he's probably going to call me fat soon. So there's that. Yeah, see, there he is. Shot it. So let me make sure I'm not missing anything. The hood latch is terrible, especially when it's like in your upper thigh area. That's uncomfortable. Let's pull this power plug before Izzy trips over it. The hairline. That's his other go-to. Those of you guys that can't tell, I have a receding hairline. This particular 6.0 bro will be bald in the very near future. Probably got a couple years left. Your hairline's the same. It happens. When you have hormone levels this much higher than Josh has a thick head of hair. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when you're not able to compete with these hormone levels, I'm just kidding, guys. But no, he has a much better hairline than me. That part's very true. That I can't argue. So just slightly off topic. Okay, let me get this Boost League question. Sorry, Colin. Sponsored by Keeps. I don't even know what Keeps is. You keep getting a boost leak in the boot going into the intercooler like a lion's mane. So, Colin, first off, what I gotta look this up. What boot kit are you running? Are you running factory boots? And when you say oh, you guys are awful. Okay, Colin. So first, have you replaced the boot at all? Are we talking about you have the same boot that keeps blowing, or you've replaced it and you continue to have issues with them blowing? My assumption is that you're having a hard time keeping it on there. So what my full recommendation would be to upgrade all of your boots. So it keeps sliding off. So we're saying the same one here. So let me look up some stuff. Let me see what I can find here on Amazon for you. Boot kit. So here's Mishimoto. Mishimoto does have nice boots, but man, are they salty. I hate their clamps. I think their clamps are garbage. There's a Gates. Whew, man. So I think what you need to do is honestly replace I would recommend replacing boots and clamps with a slightly higher end kit here. So just trying to find you a nice kit. The Mishimoto one, I will say, you just need to be very careful with their clamps that you don't over tighten them because they're not going to tolerate it well. Their boots I have no real issue with. HPS has a nice kit, but they are expensive. Sometimes I forget how expensive these boot kits are for these trucks. Let's pull up Riff Raff Diesel before we send you any links. I think Riff Raff is probably one of the nicest boot kits you can get out there. But I think first you need to make sure you pull the intercooler pipe off, pull the boots off, get new boots and clamps. That's going to be one of the biggest things because once those clamps and boots start having those reoccurring popping off issues, you're never really going to get them to seal great again. Here we go. So especially the boot, like you once or twice, then you can probably still salvage the boots. But once you have multiple failures with the same ones, you're probably not going to get them to seal up again. Man, they are just expensive. That's 170-ish. I mean, I still stand by Mishimoto. Just their boot kit is grossly overpriced. So I'm going to send you a link to Riff Raff. I have no affiliation with them, but I have personally run their products. And I would recommend, it is going to be expensive, but I would recommend their boot kit and getting their I love the 6.0 has made me so much money in repair work as a mechanic plus killer ABS from planking plus killer abs from planking over the motor. I respectfully disagree with Kyle. Kyle sounds like a mechanic, but I do respectfully disagree. I think there's better boots than the OEM ones. I do believe the OEM ones have upgraded since then, but personally, I'm a fan of replacing the whole setup. The pipes, No Limit Fab has killer pipes. They're expensive though. I mean, you're talking $700 for virtually no performance gain, other than you're probably never going to have to worry about leaks again. The other thing people don't realize, so you want to first make sure you clean those surfaces really good. Find out the working torque spec range of your T-spring clamps. Torque them to spec. If you torque them over that, you can actually bend the metal, and then you won't get it to seal right again. Now, I don't think you necessarily did that on your intercooler because you'd hear a crack because it's plastic unless you're running an aftermarket one. And I think you'd have to really, really torque the crap out of them to be able to get it to not seal up on to have that issue with like cast. I don't think you'd really be able to do that because it tends to be thicker aluminum. But a lot of people think like, oh, use hairspray to help seal or take sandpaper. If you need to do that, something else is wrong. The pipe is damaged, your boots are damaged, your clamps are damaged, something's wrong. So a fresh set of clamps and boots. If you have questions about your pipe, I would personally get rid of it and buy an aftermarket one. I run MBRP on my hot side and No Limit Fab on my cold side. Not really for any reason other than I wanted to test two different brands and I like it. Josh runs Mishimoto. I have no real issue with the cold side. I hate the design of the hot side. That being said, Mishimoto boots are top notch. They're super nice. Their clamps leave a little something to be desired personally. I do hate Sinister, that is correct, but I will say I have never heard anything bad about their intercooler pipes. Tyler, yeah, BD Diesel BD Diesel is probably some of the nicest clamps out there. And I always forget it, like Power Driven Diesel has nice clamps too, I believe. And actually the Power Driven Diesel ones are pretty affordable too. Yet they're super nice. Speaking of, what about Sensity's intercooler? This freaking intercooler is going to be the death of me from Sinister. I almost feel like emailing them and telling them to take it off their website. Not that they'd listen to me, but because I just think it's so grossly overpriced. I'll say this, I almost want to run one because I just want to see, like, what does a $2,000 intercooler get you that all the other super expensive ones don't? My guess is nothing. They get you Sinister blue end caps. Dude, why every time you bring this up? It's very frustrating for me because I just think it's so ridiculous. I have a hard time, but it's like their custom exhaust manifolds or exhaust headers that are so much better than everyone else. Everyone that runs them, they leak. They have the Y pipe leaking issues. They do have one nice design on their Y pipe. I just wish they'd throw instead of the slip joints they use that fail like clockwork, I wish they would just use flex bellows like everybody else does successfully and call it a day. And then I'd actually like their Y pipe design. I think my blood pressure's up after listening to that. Ethan is going to kill me. I was, as I'm reading the comment, I'm like, I feel like we talk about this every live stream, and it's because you do bring it up all the time. No, it's very frustrating for me because I don't know what you're getting in that they feel it's worth that much. But hey, they have it up there. They have it at that price. They must be selling enough to justify it. But I think it's crazy. Sold 1 in 3 years. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, hit it. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. We're going to quick go through my little spiel and get back to the comment section. We need less than 350 new subscribers to hit 10,000 subscribers, in which case we're going to be doing a 3-person giveaway with no purchase necessary. It will be strictly based on tuning into a live stream that will be advertised weeks in advance. So as many of you guys will be able to join in as possible. And it'll be, like I said, no purchase necessary for those. Also, guys, check out the merch store. There it is, 6.0 Bros Teespring. New merch coming this week. By Friday, there will be new merch. We're going to do EPA Who. I'm not going to do the no EPA one, only because it's kind of like a call to action, and I'm not trying to make a movement on that. So EPA Who is going to be a shirt. Plus the SOB with Making 6.0s Great Again on the back. I'll probably be doing also a Make 6.7s Great shirt. And there was one other one we have written down somewhere in the world. I think one of you guys messaged me about it. So new shirts coming. Whew. Also, channel membership, and then we're going to get back down in the comments, have some fun conversation. I see this Sinister thing back into my comment section, driving me nuts. Channel membership, guys. The first tier is going to be the special videos that are coming out. The second 200 PSI. No one's making 200 PSI. Ha! You guys are killing me. The second tier membership will have constant discount codes to the merch store greater than anything that gets released to everybody else. And also Blessed Performance is giving an additional discount to tier 2 members of an additional 5% off. So a total of 15% off Blessed Performance tuning. So handles up to 1,200 horse. I think you guys hate me. Took my 6.0 Bros hoodies from Florida to California and back. What about the Biden take the wheel shirt you said you were making? I don't recall a Biden take the wheel shirt. Guys, don't get into politics. I actually had the last live stream got flagged as potentially controversial for advertisers. So, guys, with the Biden thing, come on. It is funny. That's not a shirt that's going to be released though. I ran one on my 6.4, had higher EGTs than the one I'm running now. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's probably like honestly, I'm gonna say it's no more. Honestly, I think it's even less because unless like what is it? It's got sheet metal for end caps. I personally prefer cast. Like the only place that those sheet metal end caps really have a place is in like the competitive world with racing. Then I see the point. Then I can understand why somebody would want those end caps in there. But for everybody else that's daily driving, the cast on there is much better. If it was $500, I'd say it's a heck of a deal, and it would honestly help change my mind about Sinister Diesel. They're $1,500 overpriced in my personal opinion. Perk of them owning their own company, they get to set their own prices, and they're vastly more successful than I am at anything in the diesel community. So rock on to them. 938 rear wheel horsepower. Whew, that's scooting. Yeah, so I mean, I really don't mean to come down on them for that, but I do think like what a joke. Look at the Banks intercooler setup, which is clearly one of the best overall ones on the market. Mishimoto has one, though I'm not a diehard Mishimoto fan. The CSF intercoolers are really successful and super affordable too. I'm done with you guys. I thought we all got along, and this is how you guys treat me. Anyway, we didn't really talk about 6.0 or 6.7 problems very much today. So I do have to show you guys. She's all curled up there, laying down. Just because I said that, she'll be coming back now. It should come with, at that price, it should come more than just a lifetime warranty. The BD intercooler, I think, is a really cool one. I would actually love to run a BD intercooler. I think it'd be cool. I really like BD products, and I think that's probably an intercooler that gets overlooked a lot, despite probably being really high quality and probably really works well. I think their value equation, the 6-pack of beer would be pretty awesome. I definitely don't think they'll do that. But if it came with an intercooler, their intercooler pipe kit with boots and clamps, and I only delete the ones that I don't want on here, like anything political. And if it came with the intercooler or the intake on top of it, well, I would still say, look at Banks. You're about $500 more than the equivalent from Banks, which I do believe to be a slightly better company in regards to that. But I'd say it would bring their price point in that, especially if it performed. I don't know that it will, but especially if it performed at that point, I'd say, hey, not a terrible bundle. You get a lot for what you're paying, but they could still say they're asking a premium. So, different topic besides that darn thing. Let's see here. So, hey guys, I do also want to say, please, in the road to 10,000, especially. I mean, I hope you guys like the videos enough to share them regularly. But in this, make sure to share this channel with your friends that are into this kind of stuff. Make sure to share this. Help us grow. The goal is definitely to get to 10,000 as fast as possible. The next video coming out is going to be some 6.7 exhaust notes. If the next video is going to be the 6.7 exhaust notes, and we did this with the 6.0 after, I think it was the Power Max Turbo. I believe, yeah, I was running the Power Max Turbo because right before I went racing, and we got some really good exhaust notes. Now, the 6.7 does not sound nearly as good as the 6.0. But I will say I got some really good shots. We're going to add a few more to it. Oh, Ethan. I thought I gave some moderators authority here to deal with people like Ethan. Ethan, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will say, other than I haven't looked at the price on that blue spray. Yes, I am. Huh?
Just saying that your old mother can still work the floor.
Wasn't a double.
No, they didn't have enough time. They didn't. They had enough days.
Oh, that's good. But
you just minimized my contribution to the pandemic.
I don't want to hear about the pandemic either.
Come on.
Mom, Josh said hi.
Oh, is Josh on there?
Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
He hasn't been super behaving.
Oh, tell him his mother said to be good.
Josh, Mom said be good. Let's see here. I actually don't hate the. I am censoring you, Josh. That is correct. I will let her know at a later date. I don't know the price on that blue spring housing. Is the adjustable one? I think is kind of cool, and I haven't heard any bad feedback on it. A few different companies offer them. I would probably buy from one of the other companies, personally speaking. But I think it's cool, and I actually like that idea. So I don't have anything like crazy bad to say about it. But I'm not. I mean, yeah, the blue. Can we get another color? I actually kind of like their gray. Like they have that gray series. That actually looks pretty cool. Blue spring must charge a premium. It's blue, right? I have a weird squeaky noise at startup, not my belt. Is it not the belt, but is it the tensioner? Is the bearings bad in one of your pulleys, maybe? Those will cause a squeaking noise. $80. Did it come with a Ford Blue Spring in it too? Or is it at least giving you the appropriate fuel pressure that you need? Because then $80 isn't terrible. Because I think like Ford, I think if you buy just the Ford Blue Spring kit, I think that's like 65-ish from a dealer. So as long as it's giving you the right fuel pressure and it was only $80, I don't think that's a terrible spot. The adjustable one's definitely really cool though. Well, I guess I'll go on Sinister's website. I should apply for like one of their, they have like an affiliate thing I should apply for and see. They'd probably kick me off. They'd probably be like, you know how much crap this guy has talked on us? Powerstroke. Let's find the blue spring thingamajig. I hate their turbos. Don't buy their turbos. They're garbage. They're not even garbage. They're just, there's nothing done to them, and they charge this absurd price, and they act like there's stuff done to them. I do like their cold side charge pipe for the 6.7. That actually looks pretty cool. Looks like it was well thought out as well. I'll give them that one. Next page. Come on, fuel pressure thing. Their new intake elbow, though, that looks stupid. It's like this hexagonal shape nonsense. Their degas bottle doesn't look bad. Man, I'm not finding just the bare cover for the fuel thingamajig. There it is. So only I will say this: $100 for the adjustable one comes with blue spring. That's not bad. $80 for the non-adjustable one. Again, still comes with the blue spring. That like I really don't think that that is terrible all in all, to be honest, especially if it is a Ford new OEM blue spring. Yeah, I don't think man, look at that. They actually have something that's not overpriced. If that's all the fuel you've ever, it's a must, but you need to think far down the road because, or me, it was a waste right away because I went to the driven. I did not put Josh in timeout for the record. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think the driven diesel one is superior, but at the same time, I think the driven diesel one is kind of for a different group of people overall. Stanger, how you doing, brother? Diesel reg return. There's a lot done to their turbos. It's blue. Is there a degas bottle with 200 over everyone else? I don't think their degas bottle is actually that. I don't think their degas bottle is super expensive. I think it's like $100 more, but not quite 200. I wish they had an easier way to sort this all out. Their website could definitely use a redesign. Here we go. Now I can pick model because I can't find it right now. Hold on. I'm coming back, guys. Bear with me a minute here. Man. Yeah, no, this is just terribly designed. Here we go. All right. We're going to find this. There's the dumb intercooler I keep having to hear about. Coolant stuff. I'm about to give up on my search here. It's getting ridiculous. All right, that's a pretty good one, Josh. I think most of you guys will know what taps is, but for those of you that don't, we're gonna play it for like 2 seconds here because that was funny. I do believe most of you know. This is taps. That was funny. Well played, Josh. Well played. Mike, yes, you'll still most likely need the blue spring. Ideally, though, with a fast pump that size, I would recommend some type of adjustable fuel system. Preferably, the driven diesel, I think, has the nicest regulated return, but you could technically run the adjustable ones that people were talking about, and that'd probably be pretty good there. But typically, when you're going to run like a 220 fast system, you're typically asking for a lot of fuel for a reason. So I would recommend at that point a regulated return. I run a 125 and it holds pressure fine. And I just have the fast 125 and blue spring mod. Josh, that's me. If you guys think so, try to look at No Limit Fabrication. I love their cold air intake, though. That thing is a monster. Yeah, Doom, I agree. I do think No Limit is a little pricey, but I do think, at least with No Limit, I think you're getting like really, really high quality. And I don't feel Sinister necessarily has the same level of quality with some of their stuff, especially the stuff they tend to ask really ridiculous prices. Josh is John Cena now. BD doesn't necessarily make. I think BD has a lot of cost-effective products, but I don't feel BD cheaps out on stuff. I feel like you're getting top-notch quality from BDD, so I'm a big fan. Yeah, Mike, 220 fastest is a monster. I would recommend with something that size, definitely having some type of adjustability, because with that much fuel, even a worn out spring might have too much fuel pressure behind it. So it would be a good idea to turn around and run a something adjustable just to kind of keep your fuel pressure in check. Make sure it's not too high or causing issues down the road. Because, like I said, I didn't say this, but if you're over 75 psi, you can cause damage to the internal O-rings of your injectors. Obviously, that would be a bad time. So I would definitely make sure that you're very cautious in what you're doing in regards to that. Mike, when you win the lottery, I fully expect you to have a contribution of sending me a Kill Devil Diesel Stage 3 engine as well. Thank you in advance. And if you could start playing the lottery daily, that'd be great. Completely kidding. No, I am excited to figure out. When I was thinking about this the other day, I do feel like it's probably one of the lifters that went bad. Make that 3 Kill Devil Diesel Stage 3s. I really do feel pretty confident in that assumption. Could I be wrong? Obviously, yes. There's more than one thing that could happen, but the lifter just made sense to me when I was thinking about it. So I wonder if that's not what's happening. That'll suck, because that's going to be everything that was redone was for nothing. And it's probably because I didn't replace $50 in dumb lifter trays. I love my little intake. I'm not mistaken. It's the biggest one. Doom, it is the biggest one on the market. 5. Because you guys are spending all of Mike's lottery winnings. Gosh. Get in line. I'm number 1 first. Unless you don't want to go for power, then you just benefit a fuel filtration and water separation, super easy filter changes. Yeah, I agree with you there. I love the fast system, and I do believe the filters are superior. But if that's all you want to go with, I mean, the 125s will support over 600 horsepower, so I don't think you need to go larger than it. I do feel Mongoose, God. Mongoose, I forget what did you get for 15 grand, man? That's a lot. What's the verdict on those aluminum Kill Devil Diesel Gen 2 heads? I'm in the middle of completing a rebuild on my own 03 that finally gave it after 330,000 miles. Now 330,000 miles. That's a heck of a run. Let me see what the Gen 2 heads are here. I haven't talked to Jared at Kill Devil in a while. I mean, nothing happened. Just we're both very busy. But I do really like him and really do believe in what he's doing. So let's see here. Engine components, Kill Devil Diesel. Man, the Gen 2 CNC port, that's not a bad price. I don't know if you guys realize how expensive port work is, but 3,800 while being very expensive in the scheme of things is not terrible. So all aluminum design, premium alloy cast to Kill Devil Diesel spec, not available in 20 millimeter. We can buy retrofitting. Yeah, you can retrofit an 18 millimeter head to the 20 millimeter ones. For the 06 and 7, premium stainless valves for extreme temperature, performance valves. Sorry, just reading all the nonsense here. My guess, let me go back to the other cylinder heads here. The aluminum ones. I would guess that with the stage 2, so can you get port work? I don't know if you can get these. I don't know if you can get the three. Man, to get aluminum heads at $2,975, I got to tell you, I know it's expensive, but for $800 more to have that port work, that's amazing. I mean, it's just very inexpensive for how much you're getting with that. Every time I'm on this website, man, could I spend some money. You know, it's really going to suck if it was a lifter that gave out. I'll have to get a new front cover for my truck. That's going to really irritate me if that's what happened. Yeah, here's the lifter guides here for $30 for all of them. That's going to really stink if $30 is what I cheaped out on. Unknowingly, for the record. It wasn't like an intentional thing I did. I didn't know any better. Yeah, so I don't really quite know what all goes into it, but I will say one, you should look at, he's running a spec. I just saw it. Kill Devil Diesel complete stage 1 top end rebuild with turbo and injectors for $7,000. That ain't a bad gig. I'd check that out and see what's going on. I would give those aluminum heads a very good hard look if it was me. Yeah, Nick, I agree. That would really irritate me if my cam's ruined. Oh, Josh, that'd be awesome. Tow the Mustang there. It'd be really cool if I had a white truck to tow behind my black truck. That'd be sweet. I'm thinking about getting another 6.0 fully built, bulletproof, studded EGR. Needs injectors though. Best recommendation, Colin. I've run Warren Diesel premiums. I love them. The wife just yelled from across the room. No, I'm number one. That's. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Mrs. Mike's wife. Zaya. You're right. Mike is number one, followed by the 6.0 bro over here. Thank you for your consideration and allowing me to spend Mike's lottery winnings that he hasn't had yet, but I hope he does win a substantial amount of money. That's funny. She's yelling across the room. Oh, that's funny. Amsoil or kept it alive. Oh, definitely. Oil changes are huge. Definitely. On my 6.4, did you get all sinister parts? That was what destroyed your first lifter. Those darn lifters. They're even. I hear they're even worse in the 6.4. But I mean, if it was a lifter, it wasn't because of camshaft design in mind, because they were new lifters, a new camshaft, new cylinder heads, appropriate appropriate length push rods. My guess would be the guides is what failed. Um, I should have replaced them if that is it. Live and learn. It's a very expensive, dumb lesson to learn, but oh well. They're putting a 6.0 in the 2023 Bronco. Are they really? You'll let me take the new Bronco. Josh, you're not going to have a new Bronco by next year. Stop it. Um, we'll get a ticket tomorrow. Oh, that's funny. That is awesome. I love that you guys that she yelled across the room. Oh, that's awesome. But well, guys, it sounds like maybe Ford Nationals next year we'll have Josh and me there, which would be super cool. I don't know how close we'd be able to be together, but it would definitely be cool to be there. And hopefully we could at least be pretty close so we could hang out and stuff and give you guys a central place to meet. Maybe even do a live stream to try to get everybody together in one area to hang out and kind of talk. And that'd be super cool. If we did do that, I will say I'd probably get some merch made locally here by somebody to kind of to sell at Ford Nationals. If we do that, it'd be super. I said it would be as cheap as I could do as well. I mean, for something like that, I'd be trying not to be overpriced or anything. But if people were going to come out for it, I'd definitely be in that. We would all be able to park together. That would be sweet. I think that's something I'm gonna seriously look into and seriously try to make happen. I know some of you guys won't be able to make it, and that does really really stink because I'd love to have as many people there as possible. But um, it would pretty much be all in the same class. Sweet. Holders makes nice injectors as well. Again, I recommend the premium models people make. Warren Diesel Premiums, I have personal experience with and have had a good experience with them, so I recommend them. Holders has an excellent name. I'd recommend them second. And then River City Diesel, my mechanic, DNA, he did run River City Diesel injectors until he went to a much larger one that they don't make. And then he switched over to Warren. We use Full Force Diesel in our Dad 7.3, and he's loved them so far. So that would be an option. I have never run them in a 6 liter, but I do know people that have run Full Force in their 6.0s and they enjoyed them. So a few different options out there. Warren and Holder would be my top 2 recommendations, though. Whew, man, that was a lot in a short time. So yeah, it sounds like definitely going to need to make Ford Nationals happen. I'm out of water. Go to the backup water. .37 by 12.5 Ridge Grapplers. That's a pretty cool tire. Somebody was talking to me about I'm trying to sell the tires and wheels on the truck now to turn around and buy the a new set for my truck with the platinum wheels. So we'll see what happens there. But that is the goal. Oh, sorry, I gotta send one text. But yeah, so that is the end goal here. Just got a set of holders in the mail today. Can't wait to install. Awesome. I can't afford full, so I went with Warren. FYI, they idle like crap without your tuner knowing they are warm. Oh, definitely let your tuner know brand and what injector you actually went with, because if they don't, so certain people plug spill ports, certain people don't. Like I think Full Force, I don't think does, but I think for the most part, a lot of the other companies plug the spill port on them. Which, if they don't know, if your tuner doesn't know that, yeah, the tuning will be all over the place. So definitely let them know the brand, and don't just insert a random brand, because not every injector is the same. Get my race. Oh, Colin, it would really be cool to have like, I mean, I'd be cool to have 100 people there, but I mean, even if like 10 people came out for it, that'd be super awesome. I would love that. Even if not everyone came out and put their truck in, but like it would just be cool to have like 20, 30 people come and check us out. I'd be super happy with that. Let me plug my laptop back in here. Holders definitely has a really, really good reputation. I do recommend them. Warren has their, like I said, Warren has their way of doing stuff, and I've had good luck with my Warren injectors. I don't have any complaints with them, but everybody does. Josh, it was a fuse that blew, okay? That's it. DDP, is that dynamic or dynamic diesel performance, I think? All right. I reached out to them once when I was a really small channel. We talked once on the phone, and I forgot that I had an H in my email. Hey, Straight Six fan, how you doing, brother? Dynamite Diesel Products. Holders have an excellent reputation, Doom. I will say that. That is definitely a brand I would buy with confidence, knowing that a lot of people run them and have had a lot of success with them. So I don't think you have to worry about anything there, man. Also, guys, I did forget to say, when we do the when we do the giveaway after we hit 10,000, we're also going to have our largest live stream we've ever done. It will be the longest one. It will be advertised weeks in advance. The goal, besides just having the longest one I've ever done, the goal will also be to have the highest viewed one as well. So I think our record for most people in at one time is like 58. So I'd like to maybe have one where we hit like 70. That one's probably going to be a little hard to do. Josh, they're long. Well, Josh, people are still requesting me to go longer when I do these. Typically, I get a hard time when I jump off anything prior to 3 hours. So if the subscribers want it for the 10K celebration, we will do at least a 4-hour live stream. I'm gonna need to get like lozenges to take in so my throat doesn't get too sore. Nick, you typically give me a pretty hard time if I don't hit at least 3 hours in a live stream. 3 hours is my max at the moment, but I will say if people push forward when we hit that 10K mark, I'm thinking a 4-hour live stream is what I'm planning. And I will say, if we have a lot of people in here and people are still going strong, we may even extend it a little further. Excuse me, a little bit further than that. But then we will pull it back in because it's just a very long time. So we will see, but I am saying we will have our longest live stream ever. I think our current longest is like 3.5 hours. So probably be about 4. And we'll see what happens after that. If you guys are still in there, an hour for every 1,000. Yeah, no, I can't. I cannot do a 10-hour live stream. I can't talk that long. Give the people what they want. I mean, I do think we will be looking at maybe like a 4 to 5. My assumption is 4 to 5 hour live stream when it happens. I mean, I remember when, a long time ago, it feels like forever ago, but there was a time we couldn't live stream more than like 45 minutes, and I thought that was excessive. And then out of nowhere, they just kind of kept growing, and you guys seem to enjoy them. So if you guys enjoy them, I'm going to keep doing them. I do think it makes the channel a little bit different than a lot of other auto vlog channels. So I like being different in that regard, and I think it's something cool. And like I said, you guys respond well to it. Every time we do a live stream, we always pick up some new subscribers and stuff, so I enjoy that. So I'm all for it. Which we'll do a subscriber check here, see if it's any better than it was. Nope, we're at 9,659 subscribers. So we're on our way. Oh yeah, 6.0 content definitely does much better, and some of that is just, don't get me wrong, those videos do better in almost every metric. Watch time, comments, likes, they tend to do much better in. Controlled Insanity, we'll talk there. I do need to go just shoot a video over at the truck and be done with it, so you guys can at least, it does exist. Josh even said he saw it. He said it's in the graveyard. It's not in the graveyard. But I will say if it is a lifter, I'm gonna need to buy probably a short block from the guys over at Kill Devil, and then we'll stud the top end here because I already have the cylinder heads, and if they're still in good shape, we might as well use them. But yeah, what a mess. I did not sell it. It's a myth lately. It's just been hard to get over there. But 6.0 content does do better. I mean, even when I'll subscribe with a few channels for the cause. No, even when I just do like educational stuff. I know you guys were asking for the build series. We're gonna do a follow-up to the tow build yet, and then we're gonna start doing a street build series where again we'll kind of start from scratch. With setting out with the goal of the street truck and what I think the upgrades should be that you do. And yeah, I have some cool ideas for that. Just I will say I do want to do a 6.0 build at some point that really is just me redoing an entire truck from start to finish. Colin, how you doing, man? Tyler, so I don't want to do non-VGT compounds, but I do really want to put like a 400 series non-VGT in front of I'd probably go down to a 61, maybe a 64 millimeter VGT would be a pretty sweet setup with, I think it was pretty common for like 471s out in front of it, especially if I could retain all the factory stuff too. I think that would be super sweet. I'd love to do that. But I would also, there's a lot of things I would love to do. I'd love to redo like a regular cab and like pull everything off, redo the whole frame. I would just love to do a build like that. I think it'd be cool. Doom, I do appreciate that you watch all the videos. And guys, remember, like and comment on all the videos. All those things help so much. Share the videos with friends that you know that are into all this stuff. All those things do help come back to the channel, help us grow, help us hit 10,000, help support things like doing the 6.0 build, getting that back, helping with what's happened on the 6.7 so far. You know, we've had some really good months that we've been very fortunate. I've been very thankful for lately, and I do like 7.3s as well. I need to go change the air filter on my dad's truck. I saw it like the last time I was over, and it's like black. It's supposed to be red, so I should probably just buy him another filter for it. I controlled insanity. I know, man, and hey, I get it. It's hard to watch. I do think when the 6.0's back, I think you guys would probably be a little more keen to watching 6.7 stuff, because you would just be into more of what the channel's doing with the 6.0 and everything. That's some of why I also started. I really want the truck back, and I'm working very hard to try to do it, including extra shifts to try to get ready to get this truck back to you guys so you guys can see it. You Controlled Insanity, you probably are like our top donator. I will say that. I will vouch for you. You probably are hands down. You do more super chats, I think, than anybody out there. So no, I do appreciate all of you guys, whether it's watching videos, liking, commenting, super chats, or donations, as people do channel memberships and stuff. I appreciate it all, and I try to make sure I'm returning the value for everything you guys do for us here. So big shout out to you guys. You make it all possible, really. It's harder. The 6.7's harder to watch. I think you guys will like the exhaust video coming out. It's not like listening to the 6.0 that kind of sings to you. The 6.7's more like if I was singing, actually. So it's not as nice, but should I get a 6.0 or a 7.3? That's a hard question to answer. I like the 6.0. Performance wise, the 6.0 is vastly superior than a 7.3. 7.3 was more reliable, but not as reliable as the Powerstroke lore would tell you. It's still oil coolers leaked on them. Lots of leaky engine, just like a 6.0 is leaky, but they're super reliable, generally speaking, in the scheme of things, and you don't typically have huge catastrophic failures with them. 6.0, a little more frequent to have catastrophic failure, but your power potential and fuel economy is significantly better in a 6-liter. And typically, if you have good tuning and you're not beating on it, i.e., hot lapping it back to back to back to back at a track, like I've done, like an idiot. But it was a lot of fun doing, I will say that. So, oh well. But, if you're doing what they're built to do and just daily it and towing, then you're fine. Oh, are you guys trying to give me a heart attack today? Bill Hewitt. Bill Hewitt, I've never heard a bad thing just for funsies. Bill Hewitt, I've never heard it. First and foremost, I've never heard a bad thing from an actual customer of his. So in regards to that, props to what Powerstroke helped for what they do. The fact that you don't really hear stuff. Their dealer proofing, I think they only let you run like canned SCT tunes. I think that's kind of a joke. And honestly, for the price you pay, I think it's like 12 to 15 grand for bulletproofing from them, or dealer proofing, excuse me. I think the quality of work they do is good. He is super expensive, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that they limit you so much in tuning. I think I really do think that's where they should get on board. A customer of theirs reached out to me and told me he uses DP tuners. Yeah, he should get a better tuner. I don't think DP tuner is like terrible. I just don't think I forget the guy's name. Jody at DP Tuner. I just don't think he's like super on the up and up about some stuff, personally speaking. I think if he went with somebody a little more aggressive in the area, and I don't mean aggressive like tuning sense, I mean aggressive in like they're really in it and continually trying to improve their product, I think that'd be better off, personally speaking. But I also don't have to make sure that his business survives. He does that, so he's doing what he feels right, and props to him for that. Like I said, I don't think I've ever heard of an unhappy customer from him. Doo-doo. Let's see here. Oh, I think Bill Hewitt's contributed to the community. He's funny when he goes on a tangent, though. Between that lisp and he he's something. First and foremost, I have never heard of an unhappy customer. I think that says something. Truthfully. I'm trying to non-VGT swap my 04, but I've been told it's impossible to tow with. I'm usually towing 8K. Is it worth the switch? Is it worth the switch? I don't think Bill pioneered O-ring heads. I do believe he makes that claim. I just don't think he did for the 6-liter. I do know he tried a couple different configurations. Again, I would have to really do some looking just to hear the man ramble. Truth be told, I'd like to have a beer with him. I'm sure he's got some cool stuff to say. I just think sometimes it's you got to realize he's not just providing information; he's also advertising for a business. So it's a little different. So he has a lot of information, plus he's trying to make sure his business doesn't fail. And when you have times like right now with everything going on, that can be hard. But let's see here. Hold on. What did Tyler say? You should run a 362 with two S472s. You'll love it. Yeah, I don't think anything else on my truck will love it. Non-VGT swap. I think personally, I don't think. I feel like that was. I feel like that was a little excessive. Just ask Jared. Yeah, I hear you. And hey, you don't hear me complain about I broke stuff. That being said, I don't believe I broke something based on racing. I mean, that's not hard. Is hard on the truck. But at the same time, I think I think my issue is a failure to replace a plastic piece that was stupid of me. Oh well. Live and learn. We're gonna get the white truck back. It'll be all good. But yeah, no, it is expensive, and that part really sucks. Non-VGT, I just in a towing application, I just don't think you have the value there. Typically, people that say their non-VGT turbo tows better than their like factory or like a 61, even a 64 millimeter VGT turbo, typically have a different problem. A lot of people don't realize that for a VGT turbo to work, your mass airflow sensor needs to work, your exhaust back pressure needs to work, your map sensor needs to work. The VGT solenoid itself needs to be working. So now you're talking like you have a lot of stuff that needs to work for that VGT system to work properly. So when guys are going to these non-VGT swaps and saying like, oh, it towed better than my VGT turbo, well, it's because there was something wrong and they misdiagnosed it. Either their mechanic wasn't able to diagnose it properly or they ignored the fact that something needed diagnosed correctly. And now they went to this non-VGT, and the truck probably does tow better, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there's an issue that they neglected to fix nonetheless. So I think when you're talking about being concerned about towing, I think a VGT turbo is the best. If you really want to go to a non-VGT, like is it a 362? I have to go to KC Turbo's website for that because I don't. My turbo sponsor doesn't have non-VGT stuff, and I don't know the sizes super well. So give me 1 second while I pull up some stuff here for the 6.0 non-VGT turbos. I really don't think it's worth the cost, personally. because you are talking like $2,000 by the time you have a really nice kit together. Not a 369. 364. I'd probably do a 363. You could probably go up to a 364.5, but a 363 probably would give you a little bit better towing performance. And honestly, it's more of a question for Charlie over at KC, or the whole KC team is going to be much more knowledgeable about that. So I'd really have to go there. But I will say, hands down, no. You need to make sure like that non-VGT is just not going to outperform a good VGT system that's running correctly, in my opinion. Worth the money, no. If it's cool to you, and who cares if other people think it's cool or not? I'd ignore them. You can definitely tow 8,000 pounds with non-VGTs. You just have to go on the smaller side. It's fine to run on my daily. Bill is a wealth. Information, RIP, Diesel Ground, great guys, and content shared now of the reins. Doom, thank you. I think that is a huge compliment. I do not claim to be able to fill Diesel Tech Ron's shoes. Rest in peace, man. What a loss to the community as a whole for everything he did, because he really he was one of my favorite YouTubers for a long time. I definitely looked up to him in many ways, and when Josh and I started, we actually reference him pretty frequently, and I definitely pay respect to people like him because he's done so much for the guy, saving people money in their backyards, just doing it and saying, hey, and doing it with cheap tools. He had a lot of Harbor Freight tools. He was showing you guys, hey, you don't need to go buy Snap-on to do a lot of this stuff yourself. So Doom, thank you so much for such a high compliment. Means a lot, really does. The new 3.0 switch on the fly may be good for my 07. What do you think? Controlled Insanity. I have videos reviewing the throttle sensitivity booster 3 with like the up and down, like it's a little LCD screen. You have an up and down. I love it. It's awesome. I highly recommend it, even with tuning, because if you're on a race tune and it snows and you want to be a little more cautious, just hit that down button and you can actually reduce your throttle by 25%. I love that feature. Sometimes even with my currently there's a race tune in the 6.7 pending me to actually do the review. And then it's going to go down to a tow tune, and it'll live on the tow tune or Eco Beast tune because we're not racing with this truck. I'm just doing it for the review only. But I definitely love it and think it's worth it. I really do enjoy mine. Said it before, say it again. Jerry's modern day. Oh, Mike, thank you. Seriously, those are big shoes to fill. I don't claim to be anywhere near as gifted or as good as him. He was definitely somebody I've looked up to a lot over, especially as I continue with this. So thank you guys for such a high praise. I don't know that I'm deserving of it, but thank you very much for it. It does really mean a lot to us. 2 sleds and a 110 pitter and a short bed. Try and save all of us 460 souls. Yep, definitely agree with Josh there. I do try to help everyone out. I don't know if you can fit all that stuff in a short bed, buddy. But Ethan says yes. I like Ethan. Or they want a very small housing. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I really don't understand. Like I know the smaller housing will give you better. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate the support. Like there's just a lot more you can do with the non-VGTs as far as different housings and such, but it also limits. That was the whole point of a VGT, is to give you the ability of something that spooled quickly, like a small on the turbine, whatever you want to say, exhaust housing, but then could also perform like a larger one as well. And you end up with something kind of in between. With a real small housing, it doesn't spool quite as quite as quick as something with a real small housing, but it also outperforms that real small housing as well, and it doesn't quite measure up to a real large one either. So it's somewhere in between. But all in all, I do believe that a VGT is generally a better performing tow, unless you went with compounds. Who else spends hours trying to help and save others money? One thing I'll say is you guys really do too. I don't know if you guys all realize that, but you guys spend a ton of time on these live streams, hanging out, helping people. It's one of the cool things to watch happen is as I fall behind in the comment section, a lot of time as I'm going through comments, you guys have helped each other out too. So, essentially we have a whole community here of people helping each other. So I think it's really cool to see it all happen. Dare I ask how much it would be to run compounds? Really expensive. See if there is a market for a kidney at the moment. Yeah, compounds are cool. Don't get me wrong. Josh always there. Since you're a nurse, I have this itch. Do you need to use the XL3 friction modifier in addition to static limited slip gear oil doing a rear diff service? If you have, yeah, so with limited slip, I guess the X3, well, the friction modifier, yes. Limited slip, you need to add the friction modifier for it to work right, not wear stuff out faster. Some people I believe say their limited slip doesn't even work without the friction modifier in there. And you don't hurt anything by using the friction modifier. So my recommendation would be to definitely use it, especially if you know you have limited slip. Copper Customs or Cooper Customs. Diesel Tech Ron helped me replace my radiator. Diesel Tech Ron helped me replace my radiator as well. And my fan clutch at the same time. So that wasn't a super fun day for me, but it wasn't terrible either. And me, that's right. I do remember that. Josh did replace his radiator on his truck once. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, don't forget to check out merch store at Teespring. New stuff will be coming in the near future. So lots of stuff happening here. That's a nice build, Tim. I will say this: I always recommend 175 30s. I would up it to 190 30s. You're going to give that just a little bit more cost, but I think 190s are the best place to start with 30% nozzles, in my personal opinion. That being said, 175 30s, if you already have them, are a good run, but 190s I think will utilize that 30% nozzle better, in my opinion. Whew. Well, guys, I think we're probably coming towards the end of the old live stream because, well, I do, as I'm sure most of you do, have to work tomorrow. Like I said, if you have 175/30, it's not like the end of the world. Don't get me wrong. Just you have more headspace to grow if you need it. So that would definitely be my recommendation if possible. It definitely would have been cool to see Diesel Tech Ron do live streams like this. I think that would have just been a cool thing to experience. Jay, do you wear a mask out in public asking for a friend? I'm gonna respectfully decline to answer that. I think you guys can probably guess if I wear a mask or not. I don't want to end up in trouble with the algorithm for giving bad advice or anything like that. I don't make fun of anybody that does wear one or anything like that. Be safe, guys, out there. It's crazy time. I don't like talking politics or anything potentially controversial, but do what you feel is safe, and try to lay off some other people. Like I said, just everybody be safe out there. I'm not advocating for or against anything. Just be safe and take care of yourselves. Tim, yes, I'm in the Lancaster area, is where I'm located at. Tim, I don't know if you were in earlier, but there'll probably be a meet next year that we're planning on. It looks like Josh and I both are going to head up to Ford Nationals next year, so that'll be cool. So if you're in the area, definitely recommend hitting us up, and we'll talk more about that as time goes on. It would probably be pretty hard for us to do a dedicated meet, and I'd love once the white truck's back. It'd be super cool if next year if they did. I cannot see subs per state. I can see subs per country. So I can see I'm trying to think. Does it get? I think it gives me a percentage. I can't remember if it's my subs or my viewing percentage from different countries. One Lonely Farmer. I feel like I have heard that, but I'm not sure where I heard it for. Chal, it'd be awesome to see you up there. Yeah, no, that'd be cool to have. I told you Carlisle would be a hit. No, Doom, you did, and I'm glad to see it. I'm thinking I'm definitely in for Ford Nationals. Uh, one Lonely Farmer. Well, let's look him up. Let's check him out. Um, but no, it's definitely cool that people are interested in. Man, he's a pretty big channel too. 143,000 subscribers. But I do not recognize him at all. What's that building from? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't recognize him, so I'm not sure how close he is. But I mean, it's a pretty big area with lots of farming. So, uh, but no, Controlled Insanity. It would definitely be cool if it let me. I'm not sure that it lets me see much from that in regards to that. But I it does let me see like. Did anyone else notice I gave him a compliment and I get nothing? Oh, look at that. Holy crap, guys. Look at that. Josh gave a compliment. That doesn't happen often. Uh, thank you, Josh, for the compliment of stating that I've done a great job of helping expand the platform. I think I laughed at the he doesn't part. Kind of got me. One lonely farmer equals scared sheep. But yeah, no, I don't think it lets me see that. There's another guns and gadgets. I do think I occasionally, when I'm looking up certain things, see that channel. I don't know that I didn't know his name was Jared, but I do believe I've seen some of his videos here and there. I don't subscribe, but I have seen some of his stuff. There's a question I was trying. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing so much, Controlled Insanity, but maybe someday we can head out that direct. Are you Yeah, seriously. That probably just got this this probably be my second live stream that's marked as not appropriate for advertisers or something like that. Does the most two-way updates. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check him out more closely then, because I'm all about listening, being up to date on things like that. It can be kind of hard with everything going on right now, but definitely should look into him more. But no, it'd be really cool one day to get out there. I believe Powerstroke is in the Arizona area. Or is it Colorado? And isn't KC Turbo out that way? There was also, what was out that uh Diesels in the Desert or something like that was out there last year, the year before. I think that'd be cool to go out to. There's a ton of stuff I'd love to do. It's just, it's a matter of time and ability to get there. Pew pew sticks. I love one of my favorite guys to watch when I'm just looking for dumb stuff to listen to. Angry Cops. He's hysterical. I think he's funny as anything. But yeah, good old AC. Yeah, controlled insanity. It'd be cool to be out that way to like meet some of those guys in person. Um, I also definitely I want nothing more than to hit the season opener um down in oh shoot, who puts it on? Rudy's. Is it Rudy? Rudy Diesel, I believe, puts on like the season opener typically for like racing. That would be cool. Glow plug tips for an '05 doing all 8 harness and the control module. The control module is super easy. Um, have the right tool to pull the glow plugs out. Some people, well, I shouldn't even say the right tool. Some people use a clothes hanger and actually say it works better than the darn tool to get them out. A panoramic sunroof on your Excursion, Mongoose, would be amazing. That would be sweet. You should do it. I'm in favor of it. Now, I know I'm spending your money. Josh will tell you I'm good at spending other people's money. So definitely, I highly, highly, highly recommend that. That is an excellent decision that you should definitely make. It does sound pricey, doesn't it? um, they know about the Sawzall. I talk about it all the time. I love that M12 Milwaukee brushless Sawzall. Now, Key is getting the brushless one. But that thing's a little monster. I mean, it really is a little monster. I love that dumb thing. Plus, it works nice when you're like under the truck because it's not like a big one would work really, really well too. But at the same time, that little guy works so well on exhaust pipe, and it's tiny. It fits everywhere. Everywhere. You know, I've been on for a little too long when I start messing up my words like that. Dropped a glow plug in cylinder 3. That's a bad day. No one really had a video showing how I got it out. But whew. Yeah, no, that'd be a bad day. Yeah, it is. Let's hear. It's 10:15. I will be definitely closing out here in the next couple minutes. Because yeah, I need to get some sleep. Tomorrow I'll be editing the 6.7 exhaust note video. So that the goal is to have that to you guys on Thursday at like 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Hey Nathan, how you doing, man? You're just catching the end of the live stream. We're about to close up. Josh, see you. Have a good night. So no, yeah. So the exhaust video for the 6.7, like the sound video where I put the my GoPro like right above the like literally you can see the exhaust. Excuse me. So that one's there, and I drove around, really got in it. Hey, Controlled Say, have a good one, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we are going to keep with the live streams. We've had such a great positive response to them. I will definitely continue to do them. Mongoose, thank you for your service, brother. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, Mike, have a good one, man. Appreciate you coming in, and the support means a lot to me. Colin, have a good one, man. Ethan, same to you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words everybody was saying. I think one of the first things we're going to do when the 6.0 is back is do a big old freedom burnout for the brothers and sisters that serve this country. Um, which is actually also one of the reasons why we had like an army green, an olive colored shirt with the 6.0 Bro logo, just because I think it's cool. Tim, welcome. I hope you subscribed. I hope you enjoy the channel. You ever have questions or anything like that, let me know on Instagram or one of the videos. Tim, I do have a question. How did you find the live stream? Or did you find the channel and this is just your first live stream? And I always wonder because typically when we do these live streams, I typically see a nice jump in subscriber count. So I always wonder, like, is it just that we're making content at the time and people are tuning in and watching, and it increases my viewership? Or awesome, Colin, I'm interested. How do you guys find these live streams, or did you subscribe to the channel and this is just your first live stream? 6.0 Bro. There's an H in the Instagram name. That's that deal. That's why nobody can ever find the Instagram name. I think I need to change it to like, I feel like I'm going to change it to this soon. I just got my first 6.0 trying to figure out your stream autoplayed and I have been listening for hours. Oh, well, awesome, man. I'm glad that's how it happened. So you were trying to figure things out. You were in another video and it kicked you over to the live stream is what you're saying. I was scrolling through my YouTube feed and saw, oh, sweet. I just always get curious how like new subscribers find these uh but the wife and I did a huge burnout in the excursion for our wedding. I know you'd be proud. Mike, that is awesome. That's freaking awesome. And your wife joining the live stream tonight for a second, that's super cool. I love that you know, there's some people that watch with their kids and everything, and I just think that's super cool. Um I think it's awesome you watch with your wife. Like I love it. I'm glad the channel has that kind of people coming together and stuff. So but yeah, no, I just think I just always try to figure out how people find their way to the channel and what they think and how they like it. So it's kind of cool to see that it's actually being picked up as you're watching 6 liter content and pushing you over to me. So that's pretty cool. What's this? Exhaust. What to look for in buying a 6.0. Yeah, that was a good video. I thought about doing another one of those. I think I'm going to do another best year 6.0 Powerstroke. Except instead of focusing so much on the engine, kind of talk about other aspects of the truck, transmission, the suspension, the frame, things like that. Well, Colin, if you have any questions, man, I think I just saw that you follow me. You're not Colin Harris. That's the other Colin. Um, Hit me up on any of the videos or over on my Instagram. We have a Facebook page as well for 6.0 Bro. So any of those platforms, hit me up. I try really, really hard to answer everybody, but sometimes it does take me a day or two. But generally, I do pretty good. Um, hit that up. I don't get any notifications other than the red speaker thingy that shows up by the subscription. Curtis, if you, I think it's like a bell or something. Like down by where it says subscribe, there should be a bell. If you turn the notifications on and like, I think you have to hit like all notifications. That should help correct that for you. So yeah, definitely check that out. I don't know why YouTube's kind of weird about some of those things, but if you want to check it out for me sometime, I would gladly pay. I'm over in Marysville trying to make sure it would be reliable. Tim, I don't know that I'm a genius. There's a lot of people that would debate that. Marysville. Where's Marysville? What not to do 6.0 videos. You know, that's actually funny. What not to do with the 6.0 video. I think that'd be pretty funny. I don't know where this is at. Where's Marysville, Pennsylvania? What's that by? Sorry, just quick looking this up to see because I'm kind of curious. Oh, you're actually close. Marysville, I'm kind of close to PA. Colin, where are you at? Maybe I should make a video on what to look for when buying a Massachusetts. I guess isn't terribly far. Actually going through the process of looking at one. Maybe I'd that's not terrible. I might I guess Tim hit me up. I might consider that. To be honest, hit me up on Instagram or something, and maybe I am super busy, so it's kind of hard to commit to something, especially for a 30-minute drive. But I might be willing to go do that. So hit me up and see what can happen. I would not be taking any money because that's I think that'd be silly. I'd rather see you buy merch than pay me something, personally speaking, or do like a channel membership or something. I'd rather see you do that where you get something in return other than that. So, yeah. What Tim's saying is Tim is actually relatively close. I looked up, like, I think it was like Marysville Motors or something. It's like 32 minutes from me. So I guess it would be kind of cool to do a video on going and looking at a 6-liter and everything I would personally do to inspect that vehicle completely. So yeah, Tim, hit me up on Instagram or on the Facebook page and let me know the dealership it is at, and maybe I can go do that for you. Like I said, it have to see. I can't guarantee, but it does give me a cool video idea. Diesel truck enthusiast. First off, love the channel name. And I for a second I thought you were going to be serious. I was like, oh man, that is a funny. That's how you intro into a new channel. Tim, are you still in here, man? Just curious because I do think that'd actually be a pretty cool video idea, and I might be able to make something happen there. Oh, I got the hiccups now. But anyway, guys, we are going to close out. Thank you for everything. But what could you put? I have a question. With 190/30s, would I need to upgrade the FICM to a 58 or 48 still good? Tim, no problem. So I do not, this will be the last question, guys, short of a super chat. So with 190/30s, I under no circumstance recommend upping the voltage of your FICM. Here's why. 2 reasons. One, the entire system from the solenoid on your injector itself, relays, fuse, everything is designed around 48 volts. So unless you have somebody that's willing to change, like, I mean, you would have to modify the, oh, we're about to lose. Oh no, these lights stay on. We lost that light. Anyway, you'd have to have somebody literally change everything in the system to support 58 or 53 volts. Now, I do believe in FICM tuning, and I do believe that that can be super beneficial in regards to that, especially when going with bigger nozzles, because I think they can kind of clean up, kind of fine tune the rest of that. And that would be my recommendation, as opposed to a 58 or 53 volt FICM, would be just to upgrade the tuning on it. So anyway, guys, thank you everybody that's come and joined. Again, guys, like, comment, well, I guess you guys have been talking, like the video, share it, let other people know that you know are into diesel stuff, know about the channel, so they can come join live streams and watch some of the videos. Also, check out Teespring on the merch store. You guys can see 6.0 Bro shirts and a lot more out there, and more merch coming soon. Can I send you? Doom, that sounds perfect, brother. I appreciate it because I definitely think we'll be doing Ford Nationals this year. At least I'm thinking I'll definitely be there with at least one, if not two trucks. The goal would be two trucks, but definitively one truck would be there. So that'd be awesome. So check out the merch store. Consider the channel membership if you guys like any of those perks. Added discounts for the tier 2, extra videos in the tier 1. Although I am going to release 3 videos that will eventually be membership stuff. Colin, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Amazon has some of the cheaper stuff. I like don't get the premium t-shirt. I hate the premium one. I like the classic. And the classic's cheaper, but where the bulk of our stuff and some of the more creative things I'm doing are over on Teespring, and I do believe the Teespring stuff is higher quality. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Awesome live stream. I hope you guys all have a good one. We will be back next week with the live stream, and expect a video, the exhaust video on the 6.7 on Thursday morning around 12 Eastern time. So take care, guys. Have a good one.